Spring is going to hit a little different this year because we're all finally starting to get back outside and see friends again. No matter where your adventures take you, bring the comfort and style of Mack Weldon along for the ride. Whether it's their hoodies, polos, tees, or active shorts, everything in the Mack Weldon collection mixes and matches seamlessly to fit in with any other products you have. Springtime means kissing season, and Mack Weldon's Ace sweatpants, Vesper polo, and Pima silver or dry knit t-shirts keep you active and fresh. Mack Weldon promises comfort and a consistent fit in everything they make, from working out, going to work, or on a date. Mack Weldon is for everyday life. And with Weldon Blue, Mack Weldon's free loyalty program, you get free shipping for life. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep them and they'll still refund you, no questions asked. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/peasants and enter promo code peasants. That's MackWeldon.com/peasants, promo code peasants for 20% off. Mack Weldon, reinventing men's basics.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. This is Drunken Peasants, episode 884, and I lost my voice. And the scenes have not switched yet, so we're waiting on that to happen. But hi, everybody. Eventually, the scenes will switch, and then we'll be on the screen, and that'll be great, and everyone will be happy. Actually, you know what? I think we might... I know we're live and that everyone can hear us, but I think XSplit took a dump on us.
Oh.
Yeah, so I am going to pause the stream for just a moment here. Nobody go anywhere. We will be right back.
Like the stream.
Yes, like the stream. We'll be right back in just a minute here. I just got to close the streaming software and open it back up again. Someone said they like this better. Yeah, okay, this is the... Right. We're back. Man, my normal tone of voice is going to be like this for the entire duration of this show.
Egghead's suing you.
He copyrighted this voice. Oh, by the way, I want to mention to everyone, I did release a video. There was that WoW compilation that someone else made, and I re-uploaded it to the channel, so you guys can check it out. The link is in the description. You should go there. You should check it out. It's a 20-minute compilation of me saying wow like 2,000 times, or however many times I say it.
It's probably the most intelligent 20 minutes that have been put on this channel.
It's true.
In
yeah.
years.
So like it. Go there and like the stream or the video and check it out either later on or whenever you decide to. This is the Saturday bonus show. Basically, we're counting on you guys to help us meet our goal. We're at about 50% of that goal right now. It would be amazing if we could meet the goal and continue the streak. And I'll tell you what, if we can meet it, I'll go ahead and I'll honor the Zap guarantee that I...
You done messed up, hey, Ron.
Oh, hey, Ron! Hey,
oh, so now we're at 56%.
More than Nurgle getting there.
I appreciate it. So I'm going to do the Zap. I'm going to do a cannonball where I take a drink. It'll be some red wine. Red wine. Take a drink of red wine. Take a bong hit. Or no, sorry. Yeah, hold on. God damn it. My throat is like fucking with my mind right now. My throat is fucking me right now.
That's how you know you've had some good dick.
Take a bong hit, take a drink, blow out the bong hit, zap myself. That's what I'm going to do.
All with a broken throat.
My throat is like fucking insanely
it's
broken.
Busted and disgusted. Luckily, I gargled salt water before I went to bed.
That wasn't salt water.
Uh-oh.
That was not salt water.
Well, either way, my voice is boisterous and in full effect. But, damn.
Yeah. So.
I got punched in the throat.
Make my day.
It'd be nice if we had, I don't know, Pimp Monk here to add to the punch in the throat voices.
He said he might show up.
One day.
Well, he said he might show up during this stream.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I just want more cool voices. We're going to do an O compilation. Oh. That'll be my compilation.
I think someone said yours should be yeah. I guess you say yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't say yeah that much, actually. I say it like maybe once every 4 or 5 minutes. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we do have some amazing, wonderful stuff lined up for you. Please like the stream. This is really hard to talk like this.
Yeah, so
it's pretty fucking awful.
Basically, Ben's not going to talk at all. Ben's just going to take a nap. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk all night long about all the cool stuff I usually talk about. But yeah, get those
you mean
likes
yourself?
up. That's very cool. But no, I also talk about other things like Chipotle and magic cards.
I actually have something in relation to magic cards from
awesome
DSP. DSP did a really weird rant on magic cards that we'll get to. So please like the stream. Let's get the stream to 100 likes, and then we'll move on with the show.
Yeah, we're not moving on until we get 100 likes.
Yeah, we're already more than halfway there. Let's make it happen.
We're going to sit here, and Ben's going to use his gravelly voice, and I'm going to use my buttery voice until we make gravel butter surprise. What do you think would happen if we kissed?
Just because you eat a lot of butter doesn't mean your voice is buttery.
My voice is buttery. Super buttery. Because you ever watch those cartoons like Snow White? The prince kisses Snow White and she wakes up. Maybe
I think that's Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, yeah,
Snow
that one.
White.
Was it Snow White too, though, right? Snow White was the kiss because she ate the poison apple and the prince kissed her. She woke up.
That was the handsome woodsman.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I don't know, man. I just think I should probably kiss you and see if your voice comes back.
You'll probably just get like strep throat or something.
Never mind. Yeah, I'll stay here.
Yeah.
If I would have known you were passing out strep throat, I would have stayed home.
I do feel like I should be having a side job as a sex phone operator.
Why not? If you every $50 dono you guys send in, Ben will get you off.
You know what? Send in a $25 dono, and as long as I approve of what you're putting in there, I will read it in this voice.
That's how sex works.
It is. That's how babies are made. Send in a Ben erotica. Okay.
All because Ben's voice is broken. He's going to now exploit his broken voice. You're trafficking your own voice. You know that, right?
Yep.
Oh,
I'm
my
a voice
God.
trafficker.
Oh, my God.
I traffic voices.
I expected
We're
better.
at 80 likes, so we just need 20 more.
Yeah, if you guys could take your fingers out of your assholes and put them onto the like button, please. You can put it back in your asshole immediately afterwards.
That's a dirty like button.
Please.
You dirty fucking like button.
What's the last dessert you had that you enjoyed?
I don't eat dessert.
You've
very
had a
often.
dessert though, like.
No, I don't normally eat dessert. I'm not a sweets kind of person.
You don't think you've had one that stands out?
No, not even on my birthday. I usually that's like one of the few times I'll have dessert, but I didn't do it this last birthday. Wow. I usually eat carrot cake on my birthday. That's my favorite kind of cake.
Good.
Yeah. I think the last treat, like dessert type food I had, I went to the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory at Pike Place, and this was like months ago. It must have been like 4 months ago, and I bought. They make their own peanut butter cups, but they're peanut butter buckets. They're big, super thick, giant their own version of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Sounds pretty good.
And they make them in dark chocolate, or they make them almost like crunchy, like they're Nestle Crunch peanut butter buckets. They're really good. But I'm not really a sweets person. Maybe that's why I've never had a cavity in my life. I've never once had one cavity. At 40 years old, never a cavity.
Yeah. You said you had gone to Claim Jumper before or hadn't?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Claim Jumper has a really big slice of carrot cake. Like it's probably like 2,000 calories for their carrot cake. So good though. I used to get that all the time.
There's this deli. I've seen them in Ohio and I've seen them in New Mexico. They're like a nationwide thing, but it's called McAllister's Deli, and they serve like big cold cut and warm sandwiches. But their like big dessert there is carrot cake.
I think I don't know if they sell them like cut up at gas stations or not.
McAllister's.
I swear, like they'll have a little I don't know, plastic tub with a carrot cake in it. It seems familiar to me, but the Jazz Alley where they have like live jazz performances downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
They do a really good carrot cake too. Last time I was there, which was probably 10 years ago.
Someone said Ben's not going to talk much. Nothing new here. I'm pretty sure I do a good amount of talking, especially on these shows where there's only two of us. I have to do at least 30% of the talking.
I'd say it's a good 25. No, Ben's gonna have to talk more today because Flame Lies just sent in $25.
Here it is. I can't watch the
whole show because of work, but I want to say this. I want to use a voice changer and CSLL Trumpster Bob and tell him that I'm his long-lost Nigerian ginger son and want to spend time with my papa.
With my papa.
So I guess I wasn't supposed to read that in my erotic voice.
Well, yeah, I guess not, but you could.
I don't feel the erotic spirit.
It wasn't written for you. Yeah. Flame Lies, thank you for the big
thank
love,
you so
Papa.
much. That was awesome. So we're at 59% of our goal, guys. The zap and all that lovely shit is on the table.
And we're so close to hitting that 100 like mark when the real show starts. And by real show, I mean...
Yeah, I'm not doing it until we get 6 more likes. Now, I do want to bring up our next show is on Monday. So we're taking a day off, and then we're doing a show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday show coming up next week. So keep an eye out for that.
A long stretch.
Yep. Oh, it's going to stretch. You best believe it.
I have to bring my car into the shop because of the accident I was in yesterday. But it's Memorial Weekend, so it won't be anything till Tuesday. So I go bring it in Tuesday. That'll be
You already messed up your car at Wendy's, too.
I don't know what you're talking about. We are so close, literally right on the cusp of hitting that mark.
It's already there. I see it. It's at 100 now. All right, guys. You earned it. You
earned our love this time.
All the time. You have my eternal, undying love. That's a Brett Keane book.
Is he writing a new book?
Yeah.
Because someone's trying to kill him or something.
Or at least he
said?
claims it. Yeah, fuck him.
Gotta get my book out.
Fuck him.
He called me sir. It got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow.
They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
Roger Wilco says, I lived in Ohio. It was an awesome place to leave.
Yeah. Here's Tucker Carlson. Stupid people took control of our country.
Stupid people took control of our country.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. One Sunday afternoon last September, a 16-year-old boy called Aaron Pryor was shot to death in a driveway near his home in Oakland, California. Even by the standards of midday drive-by shootings, it was an awful crime. Surveillance footage showed the killer firing more than a dozen rounds before fleeing. No one was arrested for the murder, but local media did not seem especially interested in finding out who did it because they already knew. The coronavirus killed Aaron Pryor. That's what they told us.
Oh, no. That's coronavirus got guns now? Oh, no.
Coronavirus is packing heat. That's the new variant. The new variant of coronavirus is armed to the teeth.
It's COVID-22.
Yeah.
One local television station noted that violence in the area had risen since the pandemic began. They must be connected. Pryor's football coach agreed with this. It was COVID that really killed this kid, he told reporters. The coach didn't explain how exactly COVID had done this killing or what COVID's motive might have been, but no one asked. Everyone, particularly people in power.
This sounds like a really bad stand-up routine. Like, I can't believe this is a serious news report. This is the #1 show on Fox News. This is the marquee show of Fox News.
Yeah, because everybody else got sexually Me Too canceled.
Yeah, like Bill O'Reilly. He took Bill O'Reilly's slot.
Yeah.
Seemed happy to blame COVID. The pandemic did it. You heard that a lot, and not just in California. Across the country, in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio blamed rising crime rates squarely on the virus.
Police organizations will say that part of the reason that crime is up is because there has been a cut in funding to the NYPD. What do you say to that?
This predates any funding decisions. That's just the truth. The perfect storm I mentioned started in March and April.
By the way, de Blasio, very tall.
Very tall.
He is. He's very tall.
Reminds me of
when everything shut down.
He's way taller.
And we saw the violence start in earnest, May into June, into July. And it's clearly because things came unglued.
Right. It must have been the pandemic. That makes sense. The quarantine did it. We forced everyone to stay home, and that's why there's so many people on the streets shooting each other and pushing strangers into oncoming subway cars. Does that make sense to you? No, it doesn't make sense to anyone. But thankfully, experts soon emerged to explain why something so obviously untrue must in fact be true. Quote, because of the stresses of the pandemic, they're everywhere, explained a former CIA officer called Jeff Asher to the New York Times. You are seeing this everywhere. Except we're not seeing this everywhere. That's not true. The coronavirus may be global, but rising crime rates are not global. Police in Canada, for example, reported that crime fell by 18%.
Canada, the people in Canada treated it way more seriously, and their numbers never got out of hand. Even in relation to their smaller population, they were smart about it and took it more seriously.
And maybe the former CIA agent was talking about everywhere where there aren't social programs in place to take care of desperate people during desperate times.
Also, Canada overall just has a lower crime rate than the United States anyway.
Yeah, which might be because they have social programs that take care of their desperate people.
It's a different culture, too.
Yeah, well, our culture is to let people suffer and deal with their mental health in unhealthy ways that involve violence. And we just lock them up and then re-release them on the streets.
Between March and October of last year. In the UK, crime saw its biggest annual decrease in a decade. In Sweden and Russia, crime dropped too. Even in Mexico, which is in the middle of a drug war, there were fewer homicides in 2020 than there were in 2019. So for normal countries, pretty much all countries, the pandemic meant more Netflix, but less killing. Not here. In the United States, the opposite happened. A lot of Netflix, even more killings. You're seeing the data on your screen right now. It's from a nonprofit called the Council.
And by the way, guys, I used to work at a call center and where I had to talk all day, kind of like this. And I would have taken a sick day. But there's no sick days at Drunken Peasants. There's no fucking sick days. I am dedicated to bringing this shit to you guys, even if I sound like a person who makes perverted phone calls. So what are you wearing? Are you wet?
On criminal justice and researchers at the University of Missouri. It shows the average weekly homicide rate in 21 major cities. Killings spiked in late May, well after the pandemic began. According to the Council on Criminal Justice, quote, homicides, aggravated assaults, gun assaults rose significantly beginning in late May and June of 2020. They jumped by 40% during the summer.
Yeah, you think maybe that was because of all the protesting and police riot and anger and backlash? That it would make sense they started rising around that time. That's when we got collectively angry as a culture in America. Yeah. Do you not recall?
4% in the fall when compared to the previous summer and fall. So far this year, these sad trends have continued. Murders are up 800% in Portland, Oregon. They're up 56% in Minneapolis, scene of George Floyd's death. They're up 27% in LA, 22% in New York. They're up
murders are up 800% in Portland. I don't know. I'd have to see where they're getting that statistic from.
There might be. There's been more people in each other's faces, more people like angry and out in the streets fighting for what they believe is life-changing necessities.
It's not on as large of a scale as they make it seem. Like, I went to Portland twice during all the like daily protests, and it's very easy to avoid if you don't want to get near it. It's like you know where it is and you can avoid it very easily.
40% in Philadelphia. So you have to ask yourself, because your life may depend on it, why is this country different from, say, Sweden or Russia or Mexico?
Why, Tucker?
And you know the answer.
What is it?
It's not COVID. It's that in our country, stupid, malicious people took full control. The Democratic Party took
Pretty sure COVID numbers were way lower in all of those countries you just mentioned.
full control of the country,
Yeah, this
and their
happened
policies
before
resulted
the
in
Dems
a
took control.
huge number of killings. That's not speculation. They've bragged about it. Here they are, bragging about their plans.
The folks in law enforcement that share the goals of reimagining policing.
Reimagining policing in the 21st century.
Rethinking and reimagining.
Oh, there's our mayor.
Imagining policing.
Community efforts to reimagine policing.
To reimagine policing.
We have to reimagine what policing looks like.
Reimagining policing, reimagining our public safety.
Reimagine. I mean, you guys talk so much shit about the defund the police, and I agree it was kind of a weird slogan. Reimagining sounds better. What's your problem with that?
Yeah, he's starting to say this is the call for violence, is
Apparently,
reimagining the police.
Like, we knew what they meant when they said defund. They didn't mean completely defund. They meant defund the programs of the police that are harmful.
And use some of that money to deal with social issues before they become crimes.
But reimagining, that's like a way more palatable way of putting it. So what's the issue?
A citizen-led approach
can begin to reimagine law enforcement.
Reimagine public safety in this country.
What can we do to reimagine public safety?
We should say reverse engineer the police. We all need to reverse engineer the police department.
Or give the police rocket jetpacks. That would make things a little easier.
Would it?
Yeah, they could just fly up above and chase people down in the air.
Public safety. To reimagine public safety.
When you're flying up in the air, you're a way easier target to people on the ground with firearms.
Well, if they have firearms, then you just shoot them back.
We must reimagine what public safety...
That's like the biggest... risk of being a paratrooper in a war situation.
Getting shot up in your crotch
while you're floating down to the ground. You're a sitting duck.
Looks like.
Well, they definitely reimagined public safety. They made the public much less safe.
In my reimagining.
According to a report in Axios, 20 major U.S. cities have slashed their police budgets in the last year. They defunded the police. Collectively, they cut more than $840 million from law enforcement. In Atlanta, in a story that we love.
Yeah, but that shit didn't happen between May and June of 2020 when the numbers rose up. That shit happened afterwards because there was a literal battle in the streets between police and humans to get that afterwards. So you want to look at that and say, well, now that you defunded the police, the shit that happened before you defunded them counts? Tucker, you're bluffing, you're lying, you got nothing.
To read, one city councilman who voted to strip $73 million from the police, a genius called Antonio Brown, just had his car stolen in broad daylight by children who were not held back by the police. They'd been defunded. Must have been COVID that did it. Meanwhile, at least 25 cities have pulled police out of public schools.
One former CIA guy referenced that the unrest was from COVID because people were unrest. And they were unrested because of COVID because they couldn't go to work. They couldn't go to the movies. They couldn't find ways to relax. They couldn't do so many things. And on top of that, they couldn't figure out how they were going to pay their bills because they were sitting. They were sitting ducks in a world that our government, the government, not the Democrats that came in, the government that had been in there for years prior did nothing about literally until they left. And when the new government came in, they said, well, they really haven't done shit.
There was no end in sight for a long time, too. Like, we didn't know when it was going to end. We didn't know what the death toll would be. We weren't even sure how this illness transmitted or who was most susceptible to it at first.
And when you look at Sweden, which he mentioned, when you look at Canada, which he mentioned, UK, which he mentioned, they all gave people monthly stipends to stay at home. They gave them that money to stay at home. They paid them throughout the monthly. We got like $1,400 and then 9 months later got another check.
Right.
It's like that's not what we needed.
They've canceled the contracts. How's that going to work? You know the answer. At universities, activists have pushed for the same total abolition of the police. When they said we're going to defund the police, they meant it.
Almost nobody wants total abolition. Like
at the University of
no one wants no laws whatsoever, and the only way you're going to have laws is if they're enforced, and there has to be someone to enforce it.
But I wouldn't mind reimagining how they enforce
reimagining is a way better term than defunding.
You could defund the police and replace them with something smarter and better. We don't have to call them police. We don't have to be the system that's in place.
An especially entitled young lady called Madeline Wright shouted this through a megaphone, quote, "We're going to fight to abolish this effing system, not reform it." Professors at the school joined her. One of them, a character called Damon Jones, led seminars on the problem of over-policing in the neighborhood around the University of Chicago. It's called Hyde Park. It's where Obama's from. The professor wrote dozens of posts.
How is that relevant?
On Twitter last summer explaining that because the University of Chicago...
I thought Obama was from Kenya, though.
Chicago's police stop more African Americans than white people in a predominantly black neighborhood, keep in mind, they're racist. What's interesting is that Damon Jones hasn't said anything on Twitter about the police since January of this year. Why January? That's when Yiran Fan, a 30-year-old PhD student at the University of Chicago, was murdered in a killing spree on Chicago's South Side, along with 2 other people killed for being there. And at that point, it's
South
possible
Side is a war zone.
That even morons like Damon Jones realized there's a reason the University of Chicago has one of the largest private police forces outside the Vatican. Why? Because the neighborhood around the school is a very dangerous place. That's not the fault of the police. That's the reason they have police.
But it's the fault of the area around the college. They don't try and do something to make the lives better for these people where all they have is a desperate war zone to live in, drugs and all the other shit that's pushed on them from basically childhood. It's not easy to be in Southside Chicago.
And that could be true for the entire city of Chicago, which is dangerous and becoming more so by the day.
So how do you fix that? Not with more police.
It's not the entire city. That's so dishonest for him to say that. There are plenty of dangerous areas, but it's not literally the entire city. That's bullshit.
Now, why's that happened? It's happened because people with a political agenda have taken over law enforcement. It was in Chicago, for example, that BLM activists declared that looting, stealing, is a form of reparations. Watch.
They get upset when people start looting. People in this city are struggling through a pandemic. So I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a...
But who is this person and what authority are they? They're just someone, they're a protester. Like, why does this person's opinion matter overall?
Well, because it contrasts the opinion that Tucker has. So he wants to show how mad people are.
Right.
By putting a random person making a statement about how they don't care about the looting.
This is no official authority figure.
Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes. That makes sure that that person can make some kind of money because this city obviously doesn't care about them. Not only that, that's reparations.
Most people do not agree with that. Sure, there are people that agree with that, but most people don't. I mean, if you steal something, it's illegal, and if you get caught, you'll be arrested and charged.
You got to steal from Gucci to eat. Stealing is reparations. Now, that's insane, and only a very sick society would listen to someone like that.
It is a very sick society, and they are listening. The same reason the sick society is listening to you. It's neither side is the answer, you dumb shit. You're playing against each other to further dig a hole that we're all stuck in together, yelling at each other like one of us is the fucking problem. It's not us.
Would be dismissed automatically in a healthy society. But in this case, not a single Democratic politician pushed back. So guess what happened? Well, in the city of San Francisco, for example, Walgreens has closed 17 different stores. Why? Because prosecutors in San Francisco and in many other places throughout the state of California, for example, but not just there, no longer charge shoplifters. So people steal.
Walgreens is not going out of business because of shoplifting.
17 shops shut down in the San Francisco area, according to Tucker Carlson.
Whatever they want. There is so much theft on such a scale that the stores cannot afford to stay open. They're not closing as a political statement. They're closing because they can't afford to have their merchandise stolen. This is not the country you were born in. Here's what it looks like.
The Walgreens at Van Ness and Eddy in San Francisco will close its doors for good November 11th. Customers say the store is known for being a notoriously easy place to shoplift.
I've heard the Walgreens is real easy to peel from.
Why is that? I've heard.
Because they don't chase you.
She got some shit in her backpack right now.
Neighbors agree shoplifting has been an ongoing problem at this location and may be a major...
I mean, most employees at retail stores are not going to chase you. It is not their job to apprehend criminals and shoplifters.
Your factor and why...
And maybe the property tax or the payments that they have to pay to rent this area just isn't up to snuff right now because they're not getting the business plus the shopping and the price of property and rentals rising in San Francisco.
Right.
It's a mixture of
It's
everything.
not COVID. It's just all the horrible people shoplifting and the lazy employees that won't risk their lives to stop someone from stealing like $20 to $50 worth of merchandise.
Yeah.
Will soon be closed. Customers say the shelves are bare.
If I'm working a cash register at Walgreens and someone steals some shit, I am not chasing them. I don't know what they've got. How do I know that they're not armed? Like, I'm not going to risk my life to protect the merchandise of this store that I'm probably making minimum wage at anyway.
You know who would chase them?
Tucker Carlson.
Joe.
Oh.
And Joe would only work that job to chase people. He doesn't even care about the merchandise. He just wants to chase people. He just wants to hunt them down. Joe would only take that job to hunt down shoplifters. That's what I like about Joe. He's crazy. Let's wish Lauren a happy birthday since her birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
Company not even bothering to restock.
So, to be clear, it's not that Americans have become more prone to steal. It's that stealing is now allowed. And when you allow something...
How is it allowed? Like, it's not allowed, but certain people... I mean, like, they would have to have, like, an armed security guard or something whose job there is just, like, what they call loss prevention. And that costs money.
You get more of it. So this is the result of intentional policies designed to give us more stealing, designed to give us more murder, more rape, more pushing strangers in front of subway cars. It's happened because the people in charge allowed it to happen.
Pushing strangers in front of subway cars. Where are you getting this?
And it's happening everywhere. It's particularly happening in New York. Several candidates for mayor of New York, people running to replace Bill de Blasio, have announced that anyone who opposes stealing is, quote, criminalizing poverty. Who are the people with views like that? They're not normal people. They are, it goes without saying, pampered, out-of-touch liberals. They're the only ones who can afford views like that.
They're the only one that can afford views like that.
Nixon certainly fits that description. Nixon expressed outrage the other day that the CVS in her neighborhood was trying to prevent thieves from walking off with their entire inventory. Quote, I can't imagine thinking that the way to solve the problem of people stealing basic necessities out of desperation is to prosecute them.
Okay, that's someone's opinion. I disagree with it.
So you've got to wonder, what would happen if you showed up at Cynthia Nixon's place tonight and tried to help yourself to some, quote, basic necessities? Would Cynthia Nixon understand your theft as a profound form of social protest, as a form of social justice? Would she applaud it? Or would she tell her bodyguards to shoot you and then thank them profusely when they did? It's not a tough question. You'd be dead in seconds.
You think so?
Cynthia Nixon doesn't mean a word of what she says about crime. None of them mean a word of what they say about crime.
You think she's going to win on this platform? Because that's how politics works. People lie about things, then they get voted in.
Josh Pescator said, "Wow, the chick from Sex and the City looks rough."
Oh, is it the red-haired one?
Is that actually her though?
I fuck if I know. I don't watch Sex and the City. I'm just trying to think.
They're just trying to feel like good people in a world that confuses destruction for virtue.
I'll say
these people need help. They should be nowhere near power. Unfortunately, at the moment, they run the Democratic Party, and all of us are seeing the results of that.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Which one of these fucking people you mentioned runs the Democratic Party?
It is her, Cynthia Nixon.
That's her from Sex and the City?
Yeah, she got into politics.
Oh, damn.
I could have swore I had heard that, but yeah, she got into politics in New York. So
I sure hope
that is her.
I sure hope that they don't use her as the next Walgreens and rob her for all her basic necessities, and then her bodyguards shoot the robbers down. I sure hope not.
Everyone, please like the stream. Do us a favor and like the stream. Also, there's a link in the description. Maybe just click on it and open a new tab and save it for later. There's a wow compilation where I say wow multiple times. Multiple times. And it's, it's pretty hilarious because I just keep saying it. Over and over and over again. Wow, wow, wow. I say it every possible way you can imagine, too. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene mocks Kamala Harris over immigration. And by the way, my voice is like this because I blew out my throat somehow.
I know how.
Actual mania.
I blew that throat out.
Well, let's talk about the sorry things happening in Washington. Right now, we have Joe Biden running our country. We have Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be in charge of the border and hasn't been there yet. But she'll talk to the Mexican president about a landscaping project planning.
Do they have to go and examine the border? I mean,
I think Kamala should crawl from one end to the other, just so she knows what she's dealing with.
She should carry a large wooden cross so she understands the passion of the Christ while looking at the border.
Trees down there because they need to worry about climate justice and that's somehow going to stop all the migrants. I mean, the illegal aliens from invading our country.
So migrants are not illegal. They come here as workers. They come here with a temporary working visa to help with harvests of the various farms all over the country because, surprise, most American citizens will not work for the shitty wages that they pay migrant workers to work and help harvest crops. Now, some of them stay when they're supposed to go back home. Those are illegal, but migrants are not illegal. Migrant workers come here legally to do work, to help. Honestly, they work for such a low wage that it saves a lot of people money. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of your constituents that probably employ them since you live in rural Georgia.
Definitely.
What happened to worrying about the children in cages? Does the Biden administration and the Democrats not worry about children in cages anymore? Do they not care about drug trafficking, human trafficking? No, they're in business of helping the cartels. The cartels love the Democrats. Yeah, they're down there, they're like this. They're like, we're making a lot of money off of Biden, Joe Biden. That's my really bad Mexican accent.
Is that what that was? See, I didn't know that. I'm glad you pointed that out because I honestly thought that was your Al Pacino accent.
Yeah, I didn't hear any Mexican in that at all.
I thought you were doing a Scarface. And I was like, that's a horrible Scarface.
I would at least expect something more Speedy Gonzalez-like,
Ben, do your best racist Mexican accent.
Oh, I can't do it because my throat's all fucked up.
I was gonna see what would happen.
I can't do it. I was just gonna do my Speedy Gonzalez impersonation.
Oh, they love them. They love them. They are raking it in, helping people.
My name is Jennifer Lopez. I like tacos and burritos.
People invade our country. Joe Biden has a new policy. It's called Sanctuary Country.
This is like a failed stand-up routine.
Still better than Dave Rubin.
I saw Dave Rubin said some really messed up shit about Caitlyn Jenner, and she responded with just wrong.
Damn.
Yeah. I think he was really he was kind of kissing her ass, trying to get her on on his show, and when she wouldn't go on, he's like now against her all of a sudden.
Yeah, that sounds like a Rubin tactic.
Yeah.
Do you all think America is supposed to be a sanctuary country for illegal aliens?
It's not.
No. Absolutely not. No, you want to know what's happened to ICE?
How about we give them amnesty and then they'll all be legal?
Yeah, I do think that her saying, is America supposed to be a sanctuary country for illegal aliens, and her also saying migrants are illegal aliens, is that she just doesn't understand how things work.
No, she doesn't.
You see, the Democrats, they have something they love to do to men. They want to take away their masculinity.
Right. This is a totally different subject. She's just all over the place. You know, another thing a lot of migrants come around for is post-hurricane season in the Southeast. They come around and do work helping to, like, re-roof houses and shit. Because a lot of people don't want to take the shitty wages for that either.
If the Democrats can take away your masculinity, you're not really that man enough in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? Well, the Democrats want to do the same thing with law enforcement. They want to do the same thing to ICE, and they want to do the same thing to our military. So
they're going to have pink camo.
ICE, under the Trump administration,
Roll up in Barbie
used
Hummers.
to arrest an average of 9,000 illegal aliens a month. Do you want to know what it's dropped to under Joe Biden's ICE? It's dropped down to an average of one every 2 months. They get arrested and deported. I just say that they do not have the support and the backup of the new administration to make these arrests and deport people that are breaking our laws and entering our country. No, as a matter of fact, Joe Biden is welcoming them in. And that's why Kamala Harris has no need to go to the border. They want them in here.
They want them in here.
Sounds like Trump's wall is a failure.
Well.
Now let's talk about our military.
See, she's like, but seriously, folks, can SpaceX just shoot her into space?
God bless our military. Thank you to every veteran in this room that has served. Thank you to every veteran that is watching this rally.
And thank you to every veteran that's not. Thank you to every veteran that doesn't agree with her as well.
I've never talked to a veteran that said he signed up to serve our country so
Turn down the gain.
that America could become a socialist nation.
Well, to be fair, every veteran signed up to serve their country because they were following their country, whatever direction it went into. None of them should have joined for a political motive. It should have been for the country as a whole. And if we become a socialist country, that's on the country, not on the military, right?
Never.
A lot of people join the military because they get suckered into it when they're too old to make a decision like that. They're not even old enough to drink yet, but they're old enough to sign their life away for 4 years to Uncle Sam with this promise of free health care and free education, and it ends up being shit.
Do you think it's a better gig than most college, though?
No.
Like who gets the better outcome? People who go to the military or people who go to college?
I mean, that's too general of a question. Some people go to the military and are killed because they're in the military, and some people go to college and get a worthless degree that they can't use, and some people become engineers and have great productive lives with their engineering degree. So there's too many different stories to be told from either joining the military or going to college.
Basically, I think the answer is anything you do when you're young to position you into adulthood is a waste of time.
As a matter of fact, they serve to protect our Constitution, protect our freedoms, protect our borders, and protect our American way of life. But Joe Biden has a different plan, and it's happening. He wants a woke military. That's right. As a matter of fact, he has certain people in charge of purging the extremists out of the military. Extremist.
Yeah, like anyone who broke into the Capitol building, if they're in the military, they should face the justice system of the military, which is different than our regular criminal justice system.
Yeah.
Those people should be held to a higher standard because they have accountability beyond a civilian.
Well, whoever's in charge of that proceeding go around saying, look, my client's not guilty. Everybody around him was regarded. I still can't believe that attorney used the freaking R word to describe.
I mean, that guy is, though. I mean.
But he was saying everybody there was.
Imagine.
His job as a lawyer is to minimize the punishment that his client gets, and that's the best defense his client has.
His best defense was calling everybody there actually regarded no G.
I can't believe Baked Alaska is out and still being a cunt on live streams. I have no idea. Like, he must be a fucking idiot. Because I know they didn't drop the charges on him. He must be out on bond or something. He's going to go away.
It's ridiculous. So they have people in charge, believe it or not, that are actually more Islamic terrorist
Please make the shrill lady
sympathizers.
stop.
I can't. It's the way she got into Congress is that she ran unopposed in a congressional district. So someone's going to have to step up and run against her and get elected. Someone, even if it's another Republican, to like primary her or something. Because I know it's in rural Georgia where most people are Republicans, but man, someone's got to get her out of there.
That are in charge of.
Aren't they probably going to get her out of Congress just because of the recent stuff she went through?
It's really hard to remove her from Congress, but they removed her from committees, which is way easier to do.
Now she just goes around picking fights with AOC, which is not a bad thing to do.
Yeah, they should have a bra and panties match.
That is offensive to me as a
Would you watch it?
Nope.
Liar.
Purging our.
I'm evolved.
A la old school WWF Attitude Era.
None of that was ever the entertaining part. I like the well-oiled men grappling.
Oh, okay.
Military.
Good old graps.
This is actually happening, everyone. These are people that have been to activist events, have been involved in organizations, have been apologists for Islamic terror attacks, have been apologists for Hamas.
We got a $20 bill to stop this. Should we put up a higher goal to stop this? Is $20 not enough?
You're the person who said Jewish space lasers caused the wildfires last summer.
Well, she's not the only one.
I don't
also
care.
Von Helton.
She's the only one that's in Congress.
People that said the Muslim Brotherhood should not be called a terrorist organization. These are the people that Joe Biden has.
Should the Muslim Brotherhood be called a terrorist organization?
I don't know who she's talking about anyway. Who said this?
What about the terrorist organization within, there are terrorist organizations, but is the Muslim Brotherhood one?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Our military of extremists. That's how woke they are. It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. What's really disgusting is that Matt Gaetz probably came up after her. I don't care much for him. I like her more than him somehow.
Let's see. Foreign relations. The Muslim Brotherhood in of itself may not be a terrorist organization, but there might be some satellite organizations that work under their purview.
Like the Brotherhood of the Mutants was Magneto, and there were some mutants within the Brotherhood that were really bad.
Oh my
God. They were always kind of bad, huh? I'm trying to think of good brotherhoods.
Okay. Here's the big story from today. The remains of 215 children found at former indigenous school in British Columbia. So these are remains of children that lived a long time ago, but they didn't know that they were dying and burying them. And some of them, you can tell by the remains, were as young as like 3 years old.
215
Children at a school. It was a boarding school where the children lived there.
Yeah.
And it was for indigenous people. They had those all over North America.
Yeah.
They would teach them to assimilate to Western culture and become Christian, religious.
They would lose all their native history and culture and just become Christians.
There's a street in Albuquerque called Indian School Street or Indian School Road, and that's where the Indian school was there in Albuquerque.
Yeah, there was a big whitewashing,
Yeah.
Christianity whitewashing. This doesn't surprise me at
Authorities
all.
in
It's
Canada
sad as hell.
have uncovered the remains of 215 children, some as young as 3 years old, at the site of a former residential school for
Is this woman
Indigenous
losing her voice
students.
too, or is she crying a
Canadian
little
Prime
bit?
Minister Justin Trudeau on Friday described the discovery as heartbreaking. The children were students at the Kamloops Indian Residential School in British Columbia, which closed in 1978, according to the Tk'emlúps-Tissaquapuam Nation. Chief Roseanne Casimir said
There was the site in my hometown. There was the site, and it wasn't indigenous, so I don't think people freaked out as much as they are about this. But there was a site of an old orphanage that like closed down, and they tore it down, and they were going to build a new housing development there. And there was a bunch of graves of children there too, but it wasn't for indigenous children. So this is making more news.
in a statement that their remains were found with the help of a ground-penetrating radar specialist. In 2015, a 6-year investigation into Canada's now-defunct residential school system found that it committed cultural genocide, forcibly separating Indigenous children from their families. The report documented horrific physical abuse, rape, malnutrition, and other atrocities suffered by many of the 150,000 children who attended the schools, which were typically run by Christian churches from the 1840s to the 1990s. It found more than 4,100 children died while attending the schools. That figure does not appear to include the previously undocumented discovery of the 215 children.
Yeah, and I mean, this is when corporal punishment was acceptable in schools, and there was probably some sick fucks that enjoyed beating kids that probably killed a couple of them.
And buried under what was once Canada's largest residential school. In 2008, the Canadian government formally apologized for the residential school system. In a tweet on Friday, Trudeau called the news a painful reminder of that dark and shameful chapter of our country's history. The Tk'emlúps-Tissaquapuam Nation said it was reaching out to the home communities of the victims. They expect to have preliminary findings by mid-June.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It was called Lucas County Children's Home, and they started to excavate the land around 2005, and they started finding all these graves. Not as many, not over 200 like the one in Canada, though.
There probably was no budget to deal with the bodies any other way, right?
Yeah, but you got to wonder how the kids died. Did they die of illness, or were they abused to death? That's the big issue. You have to find out how they died.
Yeah, it could. Well, I don't think you're gonna find out.
Not now.
Or even if you did find out now, there's probably not much you could do about it, right?
No, I mean, everyone you could to hold accountable is gone, long gone. So, just got to learn from history at that point. Putin. Putin is hosting the Belarusian president on his yacht now, just a few days after that plane was redirected, so he could arrest his political rivals.
I guess they're saying that a lot of the kids tried to escape and froze to death when from the
Yeah, this is the guy that rerouted a plane that wasn't even going to land in his country, but it went through his airspace. And he rerouted the plane to land so he could arrest his political a journalist that was talking smack about him, and no one's seen him since. And Putin's got him on his yacht. I don't know who the young man in the back is there. But yeah, this guy is like Putin's little puppet.
This is a nice socially distanced dinner table.
Are they going to kiss? Is this romantic?
Oh, God, he
Ooh.
went in for the kiss. He went in for the kiss. Well, they're so happy. It's probably that guy's son, huh?
Something. Yeah. Putin, I mean, Putin is like essentially untouchable. He can do what the fuck ever he wants. He's loaded. We don't even know how much money he has. He's just, and he has these laws in place to where I don't think he has term limits anymore. And when he did, he like made a new position for himself to go to when other people became president. And the president that they had, Medvedev, was just his puppet anyway. So.
Yeah. And it's probably, you think it gets away with more than like the Saudi princes and the Saudi kings?
I have no
do?
idea. I don't know what they get away with. So no, I don't know.
Well, they had that journalist that they just shot and killed. And,
that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trump was like, well, we do a lot of business over there.
Right.
It's like, well,
it's kind of what Vince McMahon said too.
But I wonder how much America gets away with that we don't really look at as well.
That's why I stopped watching the like crown jewel things. I kind of thought they were disgusting. Here's Biden reacting to this new bill in Texas. They're really worried in Texas about Democrats winning there and Texas going blue. So they're making it harder and harder for non-white people to vote there.
Oh, damn.
We are also following breaking news out of the state of Texas, where a controversial election integrity bill jam-packed with sweeping changes to the state's voting procedures has now been filed. State, Senate, and House lawmakers are set to participate in limited debate this afternoon, followed by a straight-up or down vote. NBC's Gary Grumbach is in Texas for us at the state capitol in Austin. Gary, good to see you this afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this. You got your hands on a draft version of the SB 7 bill. Talk us through what's in it.
I will absolutely do that. I just want to go to one thing. A Joe Biden statement just came out. President Joe Biden just released a new statement about this Texas voting bill. He says, in part, it's an assault on democracy that we've seen far too often this year, and often disproportionately targeting black and brown Americans. So that was President Joe Biden just within the last hour. But you're right. They're back in session here at the state capitol. They have a busy afternoon ahead of them. Just this morning, they received a 67-page voter integrity bill, election integrity bill, from this committee that's been putting it together all month. I should note, it's not public yet. It's not on the state website yet. But we did get our hands on a copy of it. And I want to go through some of the highlights of what is...
How can anyone look at this and not see it for what it really is? I mean, there are people with blinders on that'll just pretend like, oh, no, we just don't want voter fraud. That's like the boogeyman that justifies discriminating against certain people when it comes to voting because they're so fucking afraid of Texas going blue. Because if Texas goes blue with the way the rest of the states were, even if you eliminate all the states that were close, like eliminate the ones that the Democrats narrowly won, if Texas would have went blue, it's over. Texas has so many electoral votes.
In this bill for you here. First, it bans mobile voting booths within the state of Texas. It also bans drive-through voting for most voters, and it strengthens voter ID when it comes to vote by mail. It also bans 24-hour voting. That's something that came in real handy during the pandemic, especially for those black and brown voters. And
what if you work the graveyard shift?
Now, what if they did all this and then they made voting days a paid holiday? And you get the day off, and you get to go vote. And those that do have to work, because you probably can't shut down Chick-fil-A or Whataburger.
It should just be that voting should be 24 hours, and mail-in voting should at least be an option.
Allows early voting on the weekends in that important weekend just leading up to the election. But importantly, on Sundays, it doesn't start until 1 p.m. So voter advocates said to me, that's really messing up their plans for souls to the polls, because that was the idea of go to church and then immediately go right to the voting booth. And, finally, there's a provision in this that I do want to read word for word because I think it raises a lot of questions more than it does answers here. Quote, if the number of votes illegally cast in the election is equal or greater to than the number of votes necessary to change the outcome of an election, the court may declare the election void without attempting to determine how individual voters voted. So what does that mean? It could be, there's a lot of questions surrounding that, including whether or not that's actually legal to begin with, and whether or not that's a contradiction of federal law. Also, when would another vote be scheduled? How would that election be scheduled? And who is in charge of deciding whether or not a vote is illegal? And, I don't think we should overlook the timing of all of this. This is Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. Their legislative session ends on Monday, so they are really packing this all through here. In terms of a timeline, how this is going to work, they are right now debating a little bit in the Senate and the House. The Senate is expected to vote today on this bill. Tomorrow, the House is expected to vote. They are both expected to pass this bill, and Governor Greg Abbott has already said he's going to sign it.
They needed a law to overturn elections if votes are illegal.
If there's enough illegal votes to affect the outcome of the election. But what if, like, the loser has all the legal votes are for the loser?
It's a dumb law.
Does it still count?
I'm pretty sure if it could be proven that most of the votes were in fact illegal, you wouldn't need that law.
Well, the Republicans need Texas more than we do. Let's just let them have it.
Fuck that. All right, everyone, please like the stream. My voice is like this because I blew out my voice sneezing and coughing last night. Actual Mania 20 was pretty amazing. Let's read the Streamlabs, and then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah. XPZ 2014 says, mask off, Texas GOP just bans voting. Damn. Dragon the West says, my great-grandma was half Native American Chickasaw and Cherokee. She was pressured by society at the time to not talk about her heritage. It was pulling teeth to get her to talk about it. Lord and Earl give that big love to make the ladies stop. AB said, conservative small government, more ICE. AB said, there's a difference between private property being robbed and what the owner does and the state ruining your life via prosecution for petty theft. Egghead Show again. Happy birthday, Lauren. Papa Flame Lies said, say fire from Instagram. Fire from Instagram. Thank you, Flame Lies.
I'll see.
Flame Lies gave that big love again. And Lord of Nurgle gave that big love. That wraps us up, rounds us up. We're 63.9% of the way to the goal. And we have to hit that goal today or we don't have a bonus show next week. And I cry.
I cry. Okay. And by the way, guys, also, if you want to help us meet our goal, send us a couple bucks. I did put a Zap Cannonball on the line. It's on the table. So if you want to help us meet our goal, send us a couple bucks, and we'll do that. Man, there's razor blades in my throat right now. It's fucking awful.
Are you into that sort of thing?
I'm not into it. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking now. I would try my hardest to speak the way I normally do if I was into that sort of thing. What a silly question.
I didn't know if you were into razor blades in your throat. Bow, 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 bow.
Cleave disappear.
Cleave disappear.
Cleave disappear. Cleave disappear.
So I found a video of Crazy Lokes actually boxing somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be great.
All right, go.
Oh, with them tanks. Yes.
So you get to see his technique in action.
This is with them tanks.
Heels down. This guy's taking it easy on him. He's ducking like everything he's doing.
I don't know. Crazy looks with them things. Damn, dude. I didn't know he had moves like that.
I've been waiting to see his technique in action.
You already know with them things.
He's like blocking his vision.
Oh, get him. Now I want to see Crazy Lokes versus Mayweather. That's way better than the Paul brothers. With them things. Who wins, Crazy Lokes or Asterios?
This guy must be a Muay Thai guy because he's got pads on his legs too. It
Yeah,
does
they're
say
at a
West.
Muay Thai place.
Yeah.
With them things. Is he
I
going
don't-
to take a fall?
I don't think it's a good strategy to cover your eyes with your blocking hand.
I mean, you're not in the ring, are you, Ben?
What the fuck is he doing?
He's rope-a-doping.
Okay.
Have you never seen a rope-a-dope before? He's rope-a-doping with them things. Doing what he does, pushing with them things.
He's taking it so easy on him.
Now this guy's really sweating. Crazy Lokes is working this guy. Look at all the sweat on that guy's hoodie. Crazy Lokes is making this guy take a bath. Yeah, I want to see Crazy Lokes go up against Kevin Joseph King. Can't stop, won't stop, never stop. With them things. Bang, bang with them things. Crazy Lokes hasn't even broken a sweat. The other guy is literally
He's wearing a fucking
dripping.
hoodie.
He's literally dripping in sweat. Crazy Lokes is working this guy. Yeah, get him, Lokes. With them things.
Hey, you ready to go?
He's like, I'm done.
With them things.
For real stuff.
Hadouken! Round one, fight! With them things.
They're like, he's done. He's like, oh.
Ow.
Magicus did a request that I'm about to honor really quick here because it would be pretty great. I'm going to rewind this a little bit.
You think the joke should go on any longer?
Yes.
Look, keep playing the same joke then.
Because you said that. It's going on even longer. I was about to stop it, but I think you're right. It should go on even longer.
We got about, I don't know, hour, 20 minutes left of the show. Just let this play. I'm going to take a piss while this plays.
I was literally about to stop it. Sonic Boom. Billy's just too impatient, guys. Like, I literally was clicking on it to stop it, and he's like, "Shall we stop this now? Joke done yet?" Yeah, it was done. It was done. Patience, grasshopper. Patience. Be patient. Oh, damn. With them thanks. Thank you, PT Ham. I would be more excited, but my throat hurts a lot. Ooh, Streamlabs just told me Lacey Green followed us on Twitch. That's pretty cool. Lacey Green's my homie. Lacey Green's doing Twitch streams now, which are pretty awesome. Yeah, my throat is fucked right now. I blew out my throat. Yeah, Lacey Green's doing live streams now. She's doing them on Twitch and on YouTube. And she just made a really good video on cancel culture. You guys should check that out. Oh, yeah, I second what Roger Wilco said. Please send your basic attention tokens our way. Lacey Green followed us on Twitch. That's what Streamlabs says. I was just talking to her today, so it's definitely her.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's doing live streams now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's breaking into the live streaming world, which is pretty cool. For reals, though.
For reals, though, with them things.
What else we got here? Kevin Joseph King, he's back again with Police Cop Chokehold Part 12.
He's
he's got a bat. A Louisville Slugger.
Police Cop Chokehold the 12th.
Cakes.
See, look, I got his back.
Whoa. He's going to, like, put a fucking hole through his wall.
He's a slugger with them things.
Now he's using it as a golf club.
So, again, I got the bad suspect. So, I got the bad suspect, y'all. See?
You got that stuff right there for y'all.
So, I got the bad suspect.
He's got a cummy stain.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
He's going to fucking destroy that monitor.
So, I got the bad suspect. The police cop chokehold. Look at this. I got him. He can't get out. He cannot get out.
He cannot. KJK.
Do you give up, old man? Or not old man, young man, whatever. I can say what the hell I want. Do you give up?
You can say whatever the hell you want. Hell yeah.
Answer the damn question, man. Do you give up?
I give up. That was the old man saying that, not me. I never give up.
So I'm going to face this way.
Dude, you can hear that
Damn,
bat.
he's swinging it really hard.
That bat go hard. Man.
Don't drop it,
I would hate
KJK.
to be the robber that breaks into Kevin Joseph King's house. And Kevin Joseph King defends his homestead, stands his ground.
Do not steal his calendars.
Better not.
This is my bill. The police cop chokehold the 12th.
Poof. 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 Savage attacks. Oof. Oof. Oh.
I'm going to start dressing like this and get a pair of sweatpants and pull it up over my belly button and then get a collared button-up shirt and tuck it in.
You gotta make sure to have that stain on deck, though.
He's a trend. Oh, I don't need to have it on deck. You know what I'm saying?
Ew. Ew. Icky.
So I'm a police officer with a nightstick.
Bang, bang, cop with a nightstick. Bang.
No, I'm going to get my badge.
You going to get that badge?
I'm going to show y'all my badge.
You going to show me that badge?
It's probably like a bikini inspector badge or something.
See, watch this. I'm going to put my badge on.
That's where all cops put their badges. Right
well, that's the only reason your pants up so high is to display your badge on it.
See, y'all see my police badge?
Police cop comes
My police number is 282.
My police cop comes down.
My police badge is 1082.
1082.
See, my real police cop chokehold the 12th.
Jesus, he is going to nail. He has bumped that.
So loud. When you number 14, my police cop chokehold serious.
He's got samurai precision with the bat. The TV is fine. I want to see Kevin Joseph King cooking, like doing a cooking show.
Him and Cobes can cook together.
Oh man, if we could have a Great American Cook-Off,
Yeah.
that'd be so great. Fantastic.
I want to be like the Gordon Ramsay of that and be like, it's raw. I can't do the voice. My fucking voice is fucked.
Oof. Oof. Ooh. Ooh. Massive attacks from KJK. Woof. Woof with them things.
With them things.
Ooh. Oh, we gonna break the bat over
He's
your
trying.
knee? He's like, fuck it.
I'm trying hard to his back.
Yeah, he's trying hard to break
It's gonna
the bat.
fucking break his leg.
I think the
it is
handle might
bending.
break off,
Oh,
yeah.
it's gonna break. It's gonna break.
Oh my God! Look at that muscle,
Oh,
man.
he broke
Look, I bent the bat, y'all.
Is it plastic?
Look at that! Look at that!
It's not wood, is it? It's
So I bent
gotta
my
be
baseball
plastic.
bat.
What was the?
Well, not my
the term?
bat,
Was
my
it
nicer.
the cuttable
bent my
Hulk or
nicer.
something?
What'd you say?
What was it? The cuddleable Hulk? What was his name?
The Incredible Hulk.
Well, he called it something else.
The
right?
Adorable Hulk.
The Adorable Hulk, y'all.
Yeah.
The Adorable Hulk. See me on the Adorable Hulk.
So I bent my nicer.
Muscle man.
I thought it was a wooden bat, but it must be plastic.
Or he
So y'all see I bent my nicer.
Or he defies.
This is my police badge right.
He's like Uri Geller. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He could like bend spoons with his mind. Yeah.
1082.
1082, baby.
Police badge.
Police cop chokehold right here.
Oh, this is my police badge right here.
I can't
All
wait.
gone.
I can't wait till they recast him as Carl Winslow in the Family Matters remake. Carl was a cop. Chicago PD.
He was. Yep. All right. Here's some King Cobes ultimate monetization.
Uh-oh.
Ultimate monetization.
Yeah. Word is in the chat that bat was made of vibranium.
Vibranium.
This is the thing. A knitted penis for little pudding people to wear in their pants.
What is it?
You'll see.
Is it on?
Oh, it's always on.
Can it hear me right now?
Nope.
Well, what does it do?
What do you do?
I make videos. I play guitar. I make wands. I hang out with friends. I play video games.
Awesome.
Alexa Cobes.
Awesome.
Cobes Lexa.
Play rock music.
I don't really feel like playing guitar right now.
Wait, I want to try. What time is it?
Time for the Cobra to go to sleep.
It knows all sorts of things. All you have to do is ask.
How tall is Mount Everest?
Massive. That's what she said.
We never have to charge it. Plus, it was really good at keeping track of things like shopping and to-do lists.
Paper. Add wrapping paper to the shopping list.
I'll add it to the list of things to get when I get enough money to go to Ace Hardware.
How many teaspoons are in a tablespoon?
You're a troll. Hide user from channel.
Okay.
What did the dog say after a long day of work?
What?
Oh my God.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Another one. Tell me another joke.
What do you get when you cross a donkey with an onion? A piece of ass that'll make you cry.
It loves to play music and knows a lot of songs, and they always sound great.
Play my dance mix.
Stop.
Poop, 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 poop.
Smell that? Smells like toxic masculinity.
And with the companion app, you can access it from anywhere.
It's King Cobra's music.
They're about to add another little kid to this commercial.
Wasn't that beautiful?
well, it's only a double-barrel shotgun. It don't hold that much ammo. So it should only take you 2 rounds to hit your target, minimum. If you can't hit your target in 2 rounds or less, then you're a horrible shot. I'm just being real with you.
All right. Splow. Splow.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Gun is loaded. We are hot. That helium tank is going to get shot. Level it just a little bit.
Hashtag rhyme it.
Right. Huh. Try that again.
That was a sad one.
Yes, it was. I wonder if I hit it. Probably not.
He said it should only take 2 rounds to hit your target.
Skimming off the top of the snow.
Yeah, I seen that.
Like a good bit.
Damn it.
Doesn't he have like admittedly like shitty vision?
Huh.
Like he can't even drive. It's funny how he's not allowed to drive, but he's allowed to own guns.
It might just not be strong enough to penetrate it. Yeah.
No, that's not true.
It should only take you 2 rounds to hit your target, minimum. If you can't hit your target in 2 rounds or less, then you're a horrible shot.
And we are locked and loaded.
I say, did he miss?
He missed most of those.
Killed it!
Yes, I did. I killed it till it's dead.
He shot like 10 shots. He said it should only take 2.
Well, he probably hit 6 of the 10, right?
Didn't look like it.
Oh, I can't get the can open.
Stab it with the pliers and just kind of...
Well, maybe I haven't figured it out yet, so...
I should have opened that in the trash can. Yep, we're doing it.
Lennon Lime presents King Cobra JFS The Can Opener. Boo doo 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 doo. Boo doo 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 doo. Can Crush. Every can opener I could find was included. If the can required a can opener, it was included.
Just because I can, because it's funny. Someone throws my can opener broken at this point.
It's amazing how much he's aged in the last like 12, 13 years.
Pie crust is all over the floor from making the sandwich with the burrito on
10
YouTube,
years
trying
younger
to show
than
off
me.
my awesome cooking skills, and I'm like, fuck. So I said, screw it, it doesn't need the freaking pumpkin pie paste. I'll just do it with the graham cracker crust. Fine, whatever.
Fine.
And so I ended up making it in the microwave, and it ended up being a really tasty burrito. And I folded it into a little churro type thing, white burrito like that big. And incredibly unhealthy, but also incredibly delicious. A small group of fruit, because spinach, I love spinach, dude. I tried it for the first time, with open mind, instead of going, oh, it's vegetables, gross. I tried some of that canned cold slimy spinach, and it's actually quite good. So, yeah. So tomorrow I gotta go to the bank and I gotta get some money out of my savings account. Because in the irony, I spent all my money on groceries, but I forgot to grab the one things that I know I'll eat the most of, and that's spinach, peanut butter and jelly and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Oh.
Potatoes,
Peanut butter, jelly, and mayonnaise sandwiches?
Yeah.
ramen noodles.
I know. What is wrong with him?
Stuff like that. I got a bunch of canned food thinking,
Like, peanut butter and jelly does not need anything else. Like, you can experiment with different types of peanut butter and different types of jelly, different types of bread. There's no need to add mayo to a fucking PB&J.
Yeah.
At all.
Didn't grab a can opener either. So, yeah, I gotta grab a can
I've heard people add mustard to PB&Js.
Yeah, I mean, people dress it up. However, I don't know. I don't see the point.
Of course, there's just my pliers, too.
If you like it, whatever. Eat what you like, but I don't get it.
I have a set of pliers. Just stab it in there and just take a can, just peel it away slowly. I got that if I don't get a can opener, so. But it's kind of snowing outside right now, and...
To me, mayo, and I prefer like garlicky mayo, but mayo in general, is good on like a salami sandwich, something like that. Something not sweet, like peanut butter and jelly.
I was bank tomorrow to get some, maybe like $60 at the most. That should get me a can opener, some new shoes, and some basic groceries that I need. So, yeah.
Someone said PB&J and banana. I can see that. Bananas are sweet, just like peanut butter and jelly are both sweet.
Hold on a second. I have my knife in my pocket.
Wow, do you see how long he lived in this place? This is his last place. His hair is so much thicker here.
Yeah, it looks almost like he's in drag.
I'm opening up a can of peaches, and what could happen? Blade snapped off. Sucks, but
yeah, because you don't use knives to open up cans. They have invented a contraption that easily opens them.
Something to cut box open with, so I suppose it could be worse.
Actually, I was wrong. His hair doesn't look thicker. He's just like combing it back, trying to make it look thicker.
Yeah. The other half of that blade, so it snapped clean off. Open up a can of peaches, ironically. And the thing of it is, if you don't have a can opener, you can use pliers to open up your can. Just stab it in until it pulls a hole and sit there and kind of peel away at it like a sardine can, basically like old school sardine cans. So.
2014. Man, the way fucking like Europeans write dates is very confusing to me.
Yummy.
Well, didn't need a can opener for that burp.
That was a verb.
Oh God.
This is the spinach I got here. It's spicy southern spinach.
He's Popeye the Sailor Man.
That shit raw.
Look at those muscles. Look at that buff, muscular, sexy goth bad boy.
He's not in bad shape, but he's not like muscular like he talks about like he is.
I don't know. I think he's a sexy goth bad boy. Do we have a can opener? I'm sure we brought a can opener. Is this when he had a girlfriend? Is that why he's saying we? Or is it a roommate?
Well, I have to add caliber to this thing. Oh,
Got
wait
it.
a second.
Never mind.
Aha, we do have a can opener.
With them things.
See, if you don't have a can opener and you want to get a can like this open, the best thing you can do is just to sit there and be like, stab it with the pliers and just kind of peel it open like that. That works if you don't have a can opener, but we don't need to stab it with pliers. We got the can opener. Okay. First thing looks like it opens in the kitchen in case it spills. The last thing I want to do is spill spinach juice on one of my carpet. Because I imagine that's
Spinach juice. That just sounds gross.
modern day can openers.
I have actually, though, I will admit, he means spinach juice. He means the fucking what do they call it? Preservatives that they put in with canned spinach, which isn't actually spinach juice. When I was juicing a lot, I went through like a juicing fad for a little while where I was like consuming a lot of calories juicing, which really isn't that great if you're only putting fruit in that's like all sugar. But I would drop spinach to like make it green.
Yeah, kale is really good for that.
Kale, and I used to use ginger root too, add a little bit of spiciness to it.
Yeah.
But one time I had like this weird sugar crash because I only put like green apples and pears into my juice, and I drank this huge thing of it. It's all like concentrated sugars.
You get a lot of fiber.
No, not from juicing.
Oh, juicing?
Smoothies, you get fiber.
Yeah, I
juicing it removes all the fiber and leaves
I used
just
an emulsifier, so that just ground everything up.
Juicing removes all the fiber and only keeps like the sugar in the water.
Yeah, I'm not a juicing fan. I'm a fan of that emulsification. You throw in kale, you throw in an apple, maybe some blueberries.
Smoothies Smoothies will keep the fiber.
Yeah, you keep all that good stuff when you just emulsify it. Nice, healthy little tootie. But yeah, just all that juice probably be diuretic as well. Fuck
It
your
makes you
insulin up.
piss a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you poo poo and pee pee.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Ow!
You just squeeze it.
What is he doing?
Opening that can, man.
Get it figured out eventually.
Everyone, please like the stream. Doesn't take much more to get us over 200.
Retarded. And the butt releases it. Huh. Aye, sardines are good for building muscles too. And thus we have fish and spinach. Yeah.
When you sit here and call me a retard, I might just say you forgot the high functioning part.
He's highly regarded.
He's highly functionally regarded.
What's that? Is that fish? Is that canned fish?
Apparently I'm so retarded that here I sit.
Here I sit, brokenhearted, tried to shit, but only farted.
There's a fish on that can. It's salmon? Oh, no.
Using a can opener.
Man, I try not to eat things out of cans.
Yeah, that's like that got really big during the Second World War because everyone was working together to try to like use less and conserve food and that kind of shit, and that kind of became the norm. So, you know, my parents' generation and like the earlier part of my generation, canned shit was normal. Like I grew up on SpaghettiOs and Chef Boyardee and all that shit. But now when I look at it, it's just gross. Like I'd rather just cook dry pasta, you know, in a pan than eat Chef Boyardee or whatever.
I used to eat them overstuffed raviolis all the time. It was bad news, Brown.
Chef Boyardee is one of the few like faces on a label that was actually a real guy. And he opened one of the first Italian restaurants ever in Cleveland. And then people loved his shit so much that he was the pioneer of canning pasta.
Yeah.
He started that shit. But his name was Boyardee. They spell it wrong on the can. I don't understand that. It's spelled with an I instead of two E's.
Yeah, it's just because it makes it more accessible to all markets.
Stupid.
It probably wouldn't be easily pronounced. That's why they changed things
Now
all the
it
time.
would be, but because we have like Bertolli now and all those.
Yeah, but back then, definitely not.
Yeah.
Squeezing that opener
Now, the
can.
important thing to do
Opener.
when you're on YouTube is to not let the haters get to you and also to learn from your past mistakes.
Andrew in the pleb chat said canned food got big during the Cold War. Well, I mean, the Cold War immediately followed World War II. The Cold War started. We got into Korea. The Cold War was communism. Like we were fighting communism or whatever. That's how we got into Korea. That's how we got into Vietnam, and that's how we were like pointing nukes at Russia with them pointing nukes back at us all the way up until the mid 90s. Early 90s.
I do like canned beans. I don't know, dry beans always take a while to cook.
They do. Yeah, but with an Instant Pot pressure cooker, everything rice, like all the, not instant rice, but normal rice that used to take like 30, 45 minutes to cook, all that shit cooks like in a matter of minutes with an Instant Pot. Yes. The pressure cooker side of it.
I made some chili like 6 months ago and I put canned beans into an Instant Pot because I didn't want to have undercooked beans. I didn't want to.
I cook like normally, like I'll do ribs, pork ribs, and in like a smoker, that shit takes hours. I can cook them in like 30 to 45 minutes. Perfect. Like I'll get them falling off the bone pressure cooking, and then I put the air fry lid on and get the outside a little bit crispy. And I put the sauce on before I air fry.
Yeah.
And it like cooks it into the meat. Perfect.
This can opener is a piece of shit. Sitting there trying to open up a fucking can of pink salmon because I'm hungry.
Vietnam followed World War II. Korea followed. Yes, they did. That's what I said, right? After World War II, then there was Korea, and then there was Vietnam. I don't understand. What are you guys even saying?
And
I realize this.
Cooperate.
I studied American history.
What's the longest war in American history?
Afghanistan.
Because I can definitely smell
Is it over yet?
Oh, that
No.
smells good.
Damn it.
No, what I was gonna do was eat an entire can of pink salmon on camera for you.
When do you add the 8 hours of smoke? Honestly, the barbecue sauce already has a smoky flavor to it, but if you must have a more smoky flavor, you can just use liquid smoke. That's why it exists. And you can replicate the flavor of a smoker in an Instant Pot because of that. But barbecue sauce already has a smoky flavor by design.
Would I prefer slow roasted smoky ribs that take 10 hours to cook?
Sure.
I'd prefer somebody else made them.
Right. And you can fuck them up and dry them out too. Like the Instant Pot kind of removes all margins of error.
Peeps like watching the weird shit that I do on this channel.
Did you see the thing where I don't remember what news outlet reported it, but they reported like the best cities in the U.S. for barbecue. And none of them were in Texas. Seattle was on there, and Columbus, Ohio were both on there.
Seattle was?
Yes.
Who made that?
You know what, though? I found out that in Soto, there's a ton of really good barbecue joints over in Soto.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, for some reason, that's the area around here to get good barbecue. Hold on. I mean, it makes sense because when certain types, and I've experienced this in certain places, when certain types of food become iconic in an area, people order them whether they're good or not. So eventually the place that's known for having that dish that's good, it becomes shit because they sell it no matter how good it is, no matter what.
I had good barbecue at 2 different places in Texas. The Salt Lick is on a ranch. It's about 20 minutes outside of Austin. Really good place, all you can eat. They give family style, bring it to your table. Really good. And then the other good place I had barbecue in Texas was a gas station. And they had like I can't remember the name of the place, but it was inside the gas station. You go and you get your little slop. They throw you your barbecue down with some white bread, Wonder Bread.
I guess this was from the Boston Globe, but I don't know this. They might have used this from a different source. Hold on, let's take a look. Oh, they're reporting on this. This food magazine analyzed. I don't know what food magazine they're talking about, but yes, not one like Oklahoma. That's definitely a barbecue place. Oklahoma.
St. Louis is a barbecue place.
New
nice to see
Orleans.
New Orleans there.
But like
Kansas,
Columbus, Ohio,
City
and
barbecue.
like Seattle is so far north. That shouldn't matter. If you get people that know what they're doing, it shouldn't matter the location.
May is National Barbecue Month, and it's almost over. Wow.
Yeah. And I've seen this list in other places, too. This has been replicated many times. I lived in Columbus for 3 years.
Where do they suggest? Is there anywhere in Seattle they suggest?
I don't know.
Chef's Pencil, based in Sydney, Australia.
Oh my God!
Analyze customer ratings. So maybe we don't have the best barbecue. Maybe we have the nicest customers that give the highest ratings.
Who knows?
Maybe the Texas customers are like, oh hell no, I'm not giving no big.
I don't
rating.
think location should determine the quality of food necessarily, though, because, like I said, people become complacent. Like a certain place is known for like fish and chips or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they just throw out subpar fish and chips because people buy the fish and chips no matter what, no matter how good it is.
But this doesn't even mean the barbecue is that great. You know, it means that the people who voted on the barbecue gave it the highest ratings, the higher ratings.
Sure.
So like in Texas, where everybody probably compares their mama's ribs to the ribs at a restaurant, they're like, oh, they're not as good as there. I'm not going to give them that high of a rating. Because they get good stuff in the backyard, maybe.
It's all subjective anyway.
Well,
that's
subjective.
Are you saying that me saying that it's subjective is subjective?
Exactly.
That is the most retarded thing I've ever heard you say.
I'd say
in
it's
my
the most
life.
subjective thing I've heard me say.
Okay, sure, buddy.
Is Cobes gonna eat this salmon or not?
You know, this is one of those just pop tap can tops where you just, you know what I'm saying?
Is that what it is, Cobes?
But it's the only can opener I got, and I want to make the best of it. But this can of salmon is getting opened whether it likes it or not. This can...
He can't figure out how to use it.
...of fucking salmon is going to be opened whether it likes it or not.
He's doing the secret right now. If you will it, it will happen.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen, whether it likes it or not. Yodelay-hee-hoo.
Stops moving.
See, if I was doing this, I would end the live stream before I looked any more like an idiot than I already did. Oh, now we got British people sending us pounds through Super Chat saying fish and chips. But here's the thing, though. In London, if the fish and chips were that great, why is everyone eating curry and basically saying curry is the main food to eat in London? I mean, you know what? Like, I've had... Like, British food is normally like fish and chips, Yorkshire pudding, and shepherd's pie. And then the traditional English breakfast, which is so fucking filling. It's unbelievable. I can't name any other British food.
I want some tasty salmon. Yes, I do.
Will it? Someone said fish and chips are better in Australia. You know what? You call McDonald's Maccas. You guys call everything weird things. I don't trust Australia at all. Okay? You make up weird names. I don't know what the fuck a dunny is. Okay? I want to shit in your dunny. I think that's fucking insane. I don't like you. You are all bunyips, okay? You're all a bunch of nasty bunyips, and I just can't do it with your Maccas. Your Maccas, okay? Disgusting.
I have no opinion about your greasy ass McDonald's.
Maccas, okay? Maccas.
All the way open.
It was too difficult for them to say McDonald's,
Not
which
difficult.
by the way, I'm sure a lot of people in Australia are named McDonald because a lot of Irish people were in prison there. But you can't say that. You have to give it a dumb Aussie name.
That's their vernacular.
But maybe I can use a fork for this.
Oh my God! Is he gonna hurt himself?
The can's not even.
Is he gonna hurt himself?
So I'm sitting here just spinning this thing in circles, going.
Someone said, "What the fuck is a bunyip?" A bunyip is almost like the Australian version of a chupacabra. It's like a weird mythical animal that, like in Australian folklore, probably Aboriginal folklore existed, but there's been no evidence of it actually being real.
Gee, I wonder when it's gonna fucking open up. As I sit here and see I'm not a retard, I know how to use a can opener, and then the fucking can won't open up, and it's like, well, that kind of defeats your point, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's another thing. In Australia, it's not Burger King, it's Hungry Jack's. It's the same restaurant, only in Australia. Only in Australia, it's called Hungry fucking Jack's. Like, why? Like, the logo is the same, too. And in Australia, Wendy's is like an ice cream parlor.
Wendy's?
Well, I don't think it's the same restaurant, but there's a restaurant. The American Wendy's does not exist in Australia. There's a chain called Wendy's, but it's like an ice cream parlor.
That kind of defeats my point when I sit there and say, well, I'm not a retard. I know how to use a fucking can opener.
No, you're demonstrating the opposite of the statement you're making right now.
As I sit here trying to open up the can, and the can doesn't want to open up, it's like...
Out of the top three, Wendy's, McDonald's, and Burger King, I would have to say Wendy's is the best. Out of those three, obviously there's better outside of that, but quality, I would say Wendy's is better. But I will say in the Midwest, Wendy's is better quality than out here.
Really?
Yeah, because out here it's almost all franchise, and I don't know if any of them out here are directly owned, but in Ohio, in like Michigan and around there, they're corporately owned. So there's more oversight on quality control, which is a big thing. That's why the founders of McDonald's didn't want to franchise McDonald's, because they wanted it to stay good. You know, they wanted a simple menu, almost like when you go to Dick's in Seattle, the menu with only like a few things on it. That's how McDonald's used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Simple, effective, good, high quality.
Yeah.
And it's gone to shit. McDonald's has gone to shit because they franchised. Actually, though, the best thing that came out of McDonald's franchising was the creation of the Big Mac. And actually, the corporate McDonald's was pissed off about the Big Mac being created.
Yeah.
Some owner of a franchise, I don't know where it was, created the Big Mac. And that became their signature sandwich.
By the power of Lucifer himself, I command you.
That's going to make it work.
To open the fuck up. I want to eat some fish.
Is he going to get this?
Man.
If I wanted to eat fish, I don't know if I could do a can of salmon. Tuna fish, I think, is okay.
Maybe I'm not angling it right.
I don't know. I've never had canned salmon. Maybe it's fine.
It's like stewing in preservative juice.
Yeah, I'm just like, growing up in the Northwest, fresh salmon was always everywhere. So seeing a canned salmon here is rare.
Little bit of fast food trivia, though. Wendy's would never have existed if it wasn't for KFC. Dave Thomas was Colonel Sanders' right-hand man and made his money to open Wendy's working for the Colonel for KFC. And the same pressure fryer that they use at KFC, they use at Wendy's to cook their like spicy chicken and
Their
all that
chicken. They do cook a good chicken, fried chicken patty.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Wendy's is quality fried chicken patty.
That's because it's more of a cutlet than a patty. It's not like ground. Like before McDonald's got these new chicken sandwiches, the McChicken was like ground chicken.
Yeah.
It was gross.
It was asshole meat.
Yeah, it was gross.
I've never seen a can be this bloody bloomin' difficult.
Bloody bloomin' difficult.
Is he? So he's British and Australian right
Yes.
there. A bloody bloomin'.
Yeah, bloody bloomin' difficult.
I gotta step off camera.
Okay, off camera, does he finally get this?
Let's
Does
try
he slam
sitting
his,
on a
does he
flat
slam his
surface
ding dong
there.
down on the top of the cam and crack it open with the hammer? This is a lot of work for some salmon.
Popeyes is better than KFC. Yes. No shit. Yeah. KFC is the McDonald's of fried chicken.
Man, I loved when I was a kid. KFC would like, it just tasted better. I swear.
It did.
But
No, it did.
Every time we'd order it, one of us would get like sick.
It was probably
But it was
actually
worth it.
It was probably actually fried in lard and not. There was this big shift in the early 90s where they moved away from frying things in lard to vegetable oil because they thought it was more healthy, but it's not.
Yeah, it's probably just cheaper, right? More cost
The funny
effective.
thing of it is, YouTube, is I've
Maybe.
never had a can.
I don't know. I mean, there's lard thrown away every day from butcher shops.
Yeah,
It's
it probably has
difficult to
something to
open.
do with the
This is
subsidiaries we give to the corn industry.
But it's vegetable. I don't think it's corn oil. I think it's. I don't know.
Bizarre.
I don't know. There was like this thing where they were like, "Hey, animal fat isn't healthy. Let's use like plant-based fats."
Fucking hell. I finally got the bastard open, but I spilled fucking fish juice all over the floor. God damn it.
He's doing a fake British accent.
It says soybean
Anyone
oil,
who's willing to
grapeseed
do a
oil.
fake British accent is a fucking loser. I'm just saying that. Like, if you don't have a real British accent, you're trying to pass off a fake one as real, you're a fucking loser.
My point exactly, you two. It can't just go fucking smoothly, can it?
You guys call table
No.
football foosball? Hey, got you there.
You want to be careful eating fish, especially if you're around ladies.
It's FOOS ball, not fuzzball.
He
It's
just said
foosball.
It might be like, ew, you smell like stinky vagina fish. And like, no, I just had a can of fish earlier. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And we don't call it football anyway.
Don't eat fish if you're gonna smell like fish.
No, the struggle to get the can open was totally worth it. That's numb. Yeah. The struggle to get the can open, totally worth it.
Oh. Yeah, this video is really long. We'll move on in a second here, but it's like a compilation of him unsuccessfully using can openers.
Go and figured it out, YouTube. My can opener is a piece of shit, and I might have to get a new one. I get this motherfucker out, just so I get these motherfucking cans open.
The Van de Camps. You gonna slash it with a knife, dude? For those of you watching right now, see the little goal up in the corner. We're trying to get that goal tonight. We're about $255 away. If somebody could throw us some $2 bills, we'll start leading up to it. If not, then we'll just take the next bonus show.
It would be
off.
Wednesday. It would be Wednesday.
We'll just take Wednesday off.
No, it's going to happen. We have the best fans ever. They always pull through. We're already almost 70% of the way there. Even with my fucked up voice.
Man, this sounds like some damage is being done to this can.
Down there and stab that can with this here knife. That'll get it open nice and quick.
Oh my God!
Now he has a fake Southern accent.
Did he slice his thumb open while doing that?
Yes, he did. He's bleeding.
Anyway.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's got to be the can opener. I've had it for a while. It's old, and so I might need to replace it.
Yeah, it's the can opener's fault. It's the can
I'll
opener's
take some of
fault.
these needle nose pliers, get in between those tracks, and fucking peel this son-of-a-bitch open.
He's really not gonna do this,
Gonna
is
have
he?
ourselves some beans.
Oh my God, he's gonna have
To go
shards
outside.
in his beans.
Deep fried.
Shrapnel beans. What the hell, man?
Fries.
Oh, this is stupid.
This is better than sitting
so
here
papa.
25 minutes going, oh, I can't get the can open. Can I get a fork? We can eat them beans. Nom 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 nom.
That's a lot of work.
I'm gonna make sure those.
You had to go like full on Alfred Hitchcock Psycho to open a can of beans. Come on, dude.
It's hard out here.
And someone was like, I do this when my power goes out. You never heard of a manual can opener where you just like twist the thing? That's all I have. I don't have an electric can opener. I have a twisty. It takes like 5 twists. You lock it on, you twist it like 5 times, and it's done.
Avocado sauce to come out nice and crispy. Nice and crispy like a french fry. Alright, so let's dig into these
Oh
beans.
God, no, stop. What are you doing?
Like a ninja. Now if I avoid some serious shit here.
Oh, fuck me.
That is
Don't
so
touch the top of-
dangerous. He could like fucking cut himself
Yeah.
and like hit an artery
Yeah,
with that
pour
shit.
the beans out of the goddamn can.
I know. He's almost at the level where he shouldn't be living alone. He needs like a caretaker at this level.
We're golden.
Yeah, get your face a little closer
What
to
the
it.
hell? He's gonna lick the freaking shrapnel.
He's gonna fucking slice his lip in half.
Oh my God, Cobe, stop it.
Nice little protein kick right here.
Yeah, high in aluminum. He's eating little aluminum shards floating around. Maybe this is why he aged 25 years in 10 years.
He got botulism.
Yeah.
What's half the can? I'll save the other half for latest.
I like how someone's like, who the fuck eats beans with a fork? That's your biggest issue with what he's doing? Seriously?
Tip train for the sweet boys.
Thank
Hashtag
you.
choo choo. Hope you feel better soon, Ben.
Thank you,
Thank you, Brian. Choo choo.
If sugary cereals aren't your thing, then perhaps you might, and you want some more protein. How about some of these beans right here?
Man, that's gnarly.
Open up the can and eat them. Got yourself some pork and beans.
And shrapnel.
Yeah. High in iron.
A little bit of a protein kick.
Fallujah baked beans.
Fallujah.
Go straight to my muscles.
He's going straight to his muscles, Ben.
Yo.
Can't knock the hustle.
You know that guy I told you about that I was friends with that like owned BME and like
Yeah.
his brother is probably the greatest arm wrestler in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a competitive arm wrestler. It's crazy. Because I didn't know him, but I had heard of him like when he first started out, and then my friend passed away, and now this dude is like there was a pay-per-view, an arm wrestling pay-per-view in Dubai yesterday, and he took on this other American guy and just destroyed him.
Nice.
Dude is like his like bicep is insanely huge. I don't know.
I need assistance.
Yeah, see, East Max is into competitive arm wrestling, so he knows.
From this knife. Yeah, this one is
Yes, he could easily beat Stallone in arm wrestling in his prime, and definitely now.
Are they going to make Over the Top 2 about him?
That'd be hilarious. I don't think he drives a semi-truck, though.
Over the Top 2 and Johnny Knoxville will play his brother and they'll have the Pain Olympics in it?
My friend, his name was Shannon. He had this crazy high pain tolerance, and he had the whites of his eyes tattooed blue. Literally a tattoo on his fucking eyeballs. He had blue. The whites of his eyes were like a light blue color from getting
Blue
tattooed
balls.
in his eyes. And that's just one of the
now, if the
crazy
can
things he
opener
did.
won't work, you take a very sharp knife, give it a little crisscross pattern like
What
that.
the hell
right
is
there.
he doing?
And you take your needle nose pliers and you peel this son of a bitch open.
Take his pliers away.
Now, I don't know why the fuck my can opener is not working, but I'm not going to sit here for 20 goddamn minutes and go, Durr, why won't the can open up? No, we ain't got time for that.
I'm glad he learned from his mistakes.
It just helps to have the right tools for the right job, you know
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
would be
saying?
a better can opener. Not pliers. Cobes. A knife and pliers is not the right tool for the right job.
There's a picture of him with his blue eyes. It's crazy. Here's like right after he got it done. I mean, like, it hurts enough on your shoulder. I couldn't imagine getting your eyeball done.
Do you think you have like
And why waste
crazy pain receptors in your eyeballs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, even just like an eyelash in your eye feels all weird and uncomfortable.
Your life trying to open up one can of food when you can simplify it by doing this right here. Now, how exactly did I get this can open with a knife? Well, you didn't see that part on camera, but you heard me stab the can a little bit. I set the can on the counter. Okay, so stick the knife through it and cut through half the lid. And then down the middle of half that lid, I did a cross section right there.
Don't take Cobb's advice on this.
They got
This
the
is
beans
not
open
the
just
way.
fine. Oh,
did he just sneeze into the can?
Yes. A little snot and beans.
Excuse me.
So
I'm not
gross.
sitting there
Little
fucking with the can
snoops and
opener
beans?
for 20, 30 fucking minutes, making myself look like an idiot.
By the way, guys, we're 71% of the way towards our goal. We're trying to meet 100 before the end of this episode. We do run a little long, but we're asking that you help us meet our goal. Send us $2. Send us $4. Someone's asking what happened to my voice. My voice is fucking blasted out. It's a combination of allergies and yelling during actual Mania 20 last night, which was fucking insane. By the way, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Your new Cringerweight champion, Asterios Kokonos. Just throwing that out there.
Ben went one wow over the line last night.
Wow.
Lost his voice.
These beans got a sweetness to them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're boogers now. Booger beans.
All this senior protein going to go to my arms, I reckon.
I reckon your booger beans going to go to the arms.
He must have like the positive type of body dysmorphia. You know how most people like they could be like totally thin but think they're overweight, and that's dysmorphia. He has the opposite where he's not anything special but he thinks he's like Scott Steiner or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
He's like, it's going straight to my arms, man.
By the time my first date rolls around on Friday, and
my arms are going to be hella huge by the time my first date rolls around on Friday from eating cans of pork and beans. No, you're going to be shitting your pants, farting through that entire date, dude. Is Cope evolving backwards? I mean, he's deteriorating, right?
boosting your sex appeal with the ladies by having...
In 10 years, he went from looking 20 to looking like 50. In 10 years.
Ridiculously huge arms. That's how you do it.
Magicus says, I legitimately cannot decide, but the worst part of this is that Cobes eats straight out of the can he sneezed in, or that he doesn't know how a can opener works, or that he called a knife the right tool for the right job. I'm dying.
Yeah, I thought I was bad where, like, you know when you open the can and the top of it goes down instead of up, and then you have to, like, push it in and, like, pour things out of it? I thought I was bad enough by letting that happen, let alone, like, a bunch of weird jagged metal.
Well, if the can goes in instead of
you
out...
You can stick something in there and prop it up, but sometimes I'm lazy and I just push it down and pour everything out
Can't you
that
just
way.
turn it upside down and the lid comes out?
Sure, but I've not done that. I've been lazy and just kind of, like, poured it.
Yeah, you just, like, hold your hand over the lid, turn upside down, the lid will come right out, and then the can will pour in the bowl.
Step off camera and stab the can for a second. That way I'm not sitting here. I could have tried stabbing it in my lap, but a bit of common sense goes.
Oh, you at least have that much, not to stab it while it's sitting in your lap.
King Cobes, the king of common sense.
Yeah.
I would have tried stabbing the can open with a knife and had the can in my lap.
You're smart enough to know not to do that. Are we supposed to give you credit for that? Like, that's like I want to see if my gun is loaded, but I won't pull the trigger while I'm looking down the barrel. Good job, buddy.
I will give him credit for whatever he wants credit for.
I would have slipped and I would have stabbed my junk. That shit would have sucked. Like, I would have been like the worst timing of my life.
The worst timing of his life to stab his junk with a can because he's going on a date.
Oh, yeah. He's
First
definitely
date.
getting laid, right?
He's going on a first date.
Like,
He's loading
once you
up
go on a
with
date for
baked
the
beans,
first time.
pork and beans. He's going to be a fart machine.
And what happens if you two really hit it off and, you know...
And you shit your pants
I'd
when you
like
hit
to
it off
fuck
because
you,
you ate
baby,
beans?
but I can't because I stabbed my shit. No, fuck that. No. So I exercised enough common sense to go, I don't want to stab my junk. So stick the can up on the counter.
I broke my ankle
So
in 3 places and had to have surgery. Glad you sweet boys are always here.
That's
Cheer me
awful.
up when things seem to be going down.
I hope you'll be all right. That's awful. I broke my leg years ago by getting run over by a car, and I know what it's like not to be able to walk.
Yeah,
The worst thing you'll
I got
stab
a
is your fuck.
metal plate and 8 screws and 2 pins in my ankle. It's not good. It's not good.
If the knife slips. And I think I'd rather stab the side of my hand before I let it stab my
How about
shit.
neither?
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
How about buy a new can opener? You know what? Buy the best can opener money
he doesn't
can
know
buy.
how to use it.
Buy the best can opener money can buy. A foolproof can opener. Because you guys had too many videos of him almost slashing one of his vitals for some
I can already
beans.
feel my arms receiving the protein.
No, that's botulism kicking in, dude.
They're like, oh yeah, that's your spot right
You're getting
So does he think you just eat beans and they work like steroids somehow, where like your muscles just start to grow?
everything
like,
he learned about nutrition was from Popeye the Sailor Man.
apparently,
Toot,
he does like canned spinach.
Yeah.
I always loved it when Popeye would suck the spinach through his pipe, like he was smoking weed.
Popeye was a toker.
You really cannot argue with results like that.
Sticky's right. He's got tetanus. That's his
Yeah.
muscles that he's feeling. Dude, no. No, you've got nothing.
I don't know why you gotta hate on a player, man. Look at those muscles. He's a monster. He's a buff
He's
monster.
got no definition whatsoever.
Is that Triple H from WWE Hall of Fames?
Yeah, it is. Actually, I thought it was Ultimate Warrior.
It's time to play the game. Oh, shit. That's Hulk Hogan himself. Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner Hogan Hulk.
My guy.
How much longer do we want to do this before we move on?
Not any longer.
All right. All right, before we move on to the next segment, we will read the stream lorbs.
Problem is, I think I already read them all.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got Magicus and Bass Player. Well, the Cobes evolving backwards. Brian D. Boyd had the big one. Fixed Soul gave us 666. And then we called out the foosball table from New School 88. Let's see. Bay Area of Gaming says KFC ain't shit anymore. Stick to either Wendy's or Habit Burger.
I don't know what Habit Burger is.
It's pretty good. I had it once.
Where is it?
They have one in North Seattle.
Oh, really?
By a Costco parking lot.
I will say that Mr. Beast Burger was surprisingly good for like this weird ghost kitchen kind of place.
Yeah, it's good. They do a smash burger.
Yeah, I like that. I like the thin patties that are crispy on the outside. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, that's a quality burger.
That's why I like Shake Shack. Really good.
Dwight Langston said, "Did someone say fish and chips?" We already responded to that.
Yep.
DJ Strangler
chips are
said,
great.
"DP helped me through a bad shroom trip." Oh hell yeah, DJ Strangler. PT Ham with them things. I didn't see that one get read off. That must have been while I was taking a peep-hay. Peep-hay. Matthew McConaughey says he might actually run for governor of Texas on Ellen yesterday. I hope he does.
Matthew McConaughey said that?
Yeah.
Dude, I hope he gets it.
I predict Legal Weed will be soon after the start of the McConaughey administration.
If you live in Texas, you should vote for Matthew McConaughey for one thing. He's chilling, laid back. He's a good actor. He's a handsome man. He's smart. You know what? He's a native Texan, but he brings in that Hollywood mentality in the same way. He would be the perfect governor for Texas.
Yeah, he's kind of in between too. He's like an independent.
Someone said Matthew is a Trump dude. No, he's not. Matthew McConaughey is not a Trump dude. What are you talking about?
I think he's like middle of the line, right? He's not anti-Trump, but he's also not. Like he's like thinks both sides are kind of fucked.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
I think to either side that makes them the enemy when you think,
I don't think
both
so.
sides are fucked. So nope. He's a bad guy. And that's all them things. We are trying to hit that goal tonight, guys. If you can, do. And if you can't, appreciate you just watching, hanging out with us. That like button, smashable like button. Please hit it if you haven't already.
I mean, like this kind of shuts down. You're too busy with your weird sex parties .executables to do your research.
Damn.
Matthew McConaughey is blasting the politicization of wearing masks amid the coronavirus pandemic.
This doesn't sound like
calling the
QAnon to
practice
me.
A, quote, short-term inconvenience for long-term freedom.
This
McConaughey
sounds
said in an
insanely
upcoming episode of
reasonable to me.
Carlos Watson show, quote, I'm not believing you're really scared of this little cotton thing. I don't really feel that takes away your identity and your freedom. In a preview of a clip from the Monday interview obtained exclusively by The Hill, McConaughey said, quote, there's no data says that's not
You know,
a good
Spec,
thing.
sometimes it's okay to watch things that you don't absolutely love. You
Not
know?
Spec, no.
Spec has to like,
Oh my God.
Spec won't watch anything they don't absolutely love.
Where do Chinese propaganda efforts?
So yeah, I've never heard Matthew McConaughey say QAnon shit. Maybe you're just listening to rumors you hear other people say. I do not believe Matthew McConaughey is a QAnoner or a Trumper.
I think he's just kind of like.
I think he's
coming
going to
from a
run as
point
a
of
Democrat.
reason. I don't know if he will.
Let's see.
I think he might go for like independent or something.
Do you have any reason to think that, or is that just you?
Well, what I saw in an interview from him when he was talking about things, he was pretty divided from the parties themselves. He was talking from a middle standpoint. He was talking from a place of not being aligned with either. So if he does align with either, it will be because they want to push him.
He wouldn't align with Republicans if he's going to run against this seated governor. So
He could though, right? Like.
Well, he would have to run in the primary then, and it'd be a waste of time because he's going to spend way more money campaigning to primary the seated governor of the Republican Party than he would just to run either as an independent or as a Democrat.
He's a centrist, exactly. Sticky has a good point, though. Sticky says that he might be into anal sun bleaching, and that's pretty cool if he is. Put that asshole out in the sun, Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is liberal.
I've seen interviews with McConaughey. He's he's on the left.
I think he's playing it from the center, which might be his political move.
Sure.
And to get people from both sides coming in. And, you know, he's a classic Hollywood.
He's going to bring back the Whig Party.
Yeah, split that wig.
The Whig Party. All right, we're going to move it on. Inform yourself, .executables. Inform yourself. People hear shit and they just believe it. They don't look it up for themselves. It's like, oh, well, I heard this from 10 people. It must be true. That's the problem with the world and the internet.
Matthew McConaughey might be the new Republican Party. Might be where they go. Someone who has a little compassion.
He's not going to run as a Republican.
Well, we don't know what he's going to do yet if he runs at all, but he definitely.
If he runs, he's not running as a Republican.
Yeah,
because
well,
he'd have to run a whole primary
definitely
campaign,
not
spend
the point
double
of what he's doing. I
the
think
money.
I think what he's doing is just trying to appeal to bringing some peace back between the sides. He's trying to meet people in the middle. And I think that would be a good position to come from as a Republican if you were going to try and...
You just want to keep pushing this.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
you do.
literally pointing out where he's coming from.
He's not running as a Republican.
Didn't say that, did
Okay.
I? I said that he's... That
Well,
might
you're
be what-
saying all of something yet nothing at all.
Literally
which is
saying
normally
that
what
would
you
be
do.
that would be an interesting take for the new Republican Party to try and mend the gap.
Okay.
Rather than try and distance themselves the way they've been doing for the last 20 years. Somebody comes in right now when we're at probably the most divided point in the history of, maybe not the history, but in modern
Definitely
history.
not.
In modern history, we're at Civil War levels of division.
We are.
That's what people have been saying. It's been
People
escalating.
say dumb shit all the time.
And
that
people
doesn't
say
mean we're,
smart shit all the time, too.
Well, that's not what we're talking about.
We are talking about the talk of a future civil
You're
war
being hyperbolic.
Not being hyperbolic.
Yes.
It's been in the public conversation for a while now.
It's been in the public conversation forever since the last one. It doesn't
Well,
mean
it's
it's any
specifically
close.
been
Okay,
big
keep interrupting
right
me.
now.
Okay.
Well, what's it mean then?
Oh, no, I'm done.
Okay, good, because it's been specifically in the public conversation recently with Trump, with Biden, with Obama, been completely. It's been completely splitting the sides further.
There's
and further.
DSP talking about magic cards.
Cool. Yes, Tone and I did see this. Stores had to stop saying Pokemon cards because moronic idiots, middle-aged men, were storming the stores and getting into fights and stampeding to buy them to resell them online for profit. Morons. This is the equivalent. When I was a kid, I was a collector of action figures. I liked the Spawn action figures that came out in the early 90s. My dad would line up outside of a fucking store, like KB or Toy Works or Toys R Us, on the day when the shipment was coming in. And he would have to fight through idiot collectors who wanted to buy them and resell them for a profit. All I wanted it was for a toy for me. I was a kid. I wanted it as a toy to play with. And I couldn't get it because idiotic fucking collectors. Oh, I have to get the Pokemon cards for my collection and sell them. Oh, did you know in mere mint condition it's worth $4,000?
How do you do such a good impersonation of you? Isn't that what you sounded like when you were collecting magic cards?
No.
Oh. So he's way off.
It's not about me.
Oh. Did you know anyone like that?
There's people like that, I'm sure.
They sounded exactly like that?
I don't know. That sounds like his interpretation of people who were collecting, and he wanted them for himself because he's always been a greedy person.
Fucking losers. Unbelievable.
I'm glad to see DSP calling people losers for wanting to do things with their money, because he was a little kid that made his dad go out day of buy Spawn action figures.
Didn't he spend a bunch of money on the WWE mobile game?
Something like $10,000. I don't know.
Unbelievable. Anyway, I have a picture of the Vulcan Rona now. Oh, it's a really good one. That is a really sweet picture. It's a level 4 picture with the two of them posing around a crystal bloom. That is beautiful.
So that's his little rant there.
Yeah, they've been fighting at the Walmarts and the Targets over stuff, but they said they were going to pull them off the shelves. They didn't. They put them behind lock and key glass and stuff. It's
so basically what they've done with condoms at different stores too.
Walmart has tons of stuff locked up, though. They have glass cases everywhere. And a lot of the big thing for that is anti-theft. It's not just people fighting over things. There's they put limits on how many you can buy, 5 a person, 1 a person.
Yeah, I had a friend that got in trouble when we were in high school for stealing magic cards from, I think, Walmart or something.
There's tons of people who their job is to go to Walmart and go to Target and just scan things that they can sell back to Amazon for more money than Walmart's selling them for, because Amazon has a demand to keep their warehouses filled, and you drop ship directly. There's YouTube channels of people that get tons of views showing you how to do it. So a lot of this is based on that, and I think it's, in a way, it's Walmart's making their sales, right? So I don't know. It probably drives the price up at some point, but with this, I think the system corrects itself. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's just mad because when he was a little kid, he didn't get the cool Spawn action figure.
Has he mentioned that before?
The Spawn action figure? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't watch him outside of this show.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I remember the McFarlane action figures were big at one point.
Yeah, they had a 6-pack at Costco I got when I was a kid. Pretty sweet action figures. They had a lot of articulation and detail. For the early 90s, they were top-tier action figures.
Hey everyone, it's Randy here. Yep, we got another video going. This Domino's in DeVosburg, PA, apparently has bought into the sauce that it's a law for me to have to wear a mask. It's not. But they're...
I've seen this guy before, and he's like, oh, it's not a law. They don't think it's a law. I mean, in some places it was. I don't know when this was filmed, but it doesn't matter if it's a law. Like, it's a rule in their private business. Just like no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, I was at Walmart today, and they actually have a sign up, and they're like, if you're vaccinated, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't need a mask. and
some places are doing that now.
I walked in and almost everybody had a mask. There was like one blonde lady that looked like she might have been pregnant that didn't have one on. And everybody else I saw had masks. And I read the sign. I thought about taking the mask off because I'm fully vaccinated. But then I thought about Walmart, and I was like, I'd kind of rather wear a condom in here over my mouth, knowing how many people are running around breathing my air. Walmart's just kind of gross in general, I think.
Buying into it, so I will not be ordering from here any longer. You know what my rule is, vote with your wallet. It's all a political scam. Don't buy into it. But yeah, this is the Domino's on Euclid Avenue in Drunkenpeasant. Won't be eating here anymore. With that, I'm Randy.
Well, that I'm Randy. Okay, don't eat there anymore then, Randy. Vote with your wallet and starve yourself. Man, he does have kind of like a pig nose from this
He
angle.
does. It is a low angle, but it's really accentuating it. He has large nostrils.
Yeah.
He has a weird shaped head.
You ever watch Hoggish Greedley on Captain Planet back in the 90s?
I don't remember. Captain Planet was a trash show.
Oh, it was the best show. But Hoggish Greedley was like a pig-faced dude that loved to pollute. And this guy just kind of has a little bit of a Hoggish Greedley.
Captain Planet was Ted Turner, like, kind of manipulating what was going on his networks because he was such an environmentally conscious guy.
I mean, well, it was a show. It sold toys. It was a cartoon.
Literally like created by Ted Turner.
Yeah, it had some big names on it early on too. It was surprising how many people were signed on. I think Whoopi Goldberg was on.
Maybe, yeah.
I think she did the voice of Gaia. I can't remember, but there was some great voices. I want to look it up real quick because I was looking at it the other night, and it was deep. I'm gonna pull it up right now and see because it would have been the early 90s. So some of these people probably weren't even famous yet, and they just got the work early on. They went from 1990 to 1996, and created by Nicholas Boxer, Ted Turner.
Yeah. Ted Turner is a very environmentally conscious billionaire.
Yeah. Where is this cast and crew? All right. Where is the actors cast? Okay. So LeVar Burton played Kwame.
I believe that. And that's while Star Trek The Next Generation was still going on and Reading Rainbow. That dude was getting a lot of work at that point.
Whoopi Goldberg, Ed Asner, Tim Curry, John Ratzenberger.
Tim Curry is one of the greatest.
Meg Ryan.
Wow, that's a big name.
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen's a big name too.
Dean Stockwell, the guy from Quantum Leap.
The not Scott Bakula, but his sidekick.
Yeah. Jim Cummings, Winnie the Pooh, voiced on there. Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum. Sting had a 4-episode arc.
Sting the singer, right? Yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr.
Because it could have been Sting the wrestler because he was on Ted Turner's payroll back in the day.
Yeah.
I got to go to the bathroom.
Ed Begley Jr., Malcolm McDowell. It's like... Oh, yeah. It's Phil Hartman worked on it. Fred Savage had an episode. It was like star-studded Neil Patrick Harris. Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls had a role on there. Vanna White had an episode. Early on, Danica McKellar, who played Wendy Cooper on Wonder Years, had an episode she was on. Danny Glover, Phyllis Diller. There's some names on this show. I was so surprised. Dionne Warwick had a guest episode. Robert Guillaume, Kadeem Hardison. Like there's Casey Kasem had a role. It's so deep. Like so many. Lark Voorhees had a guest episode. It was pretty big for TV. Ted Turner did a voice. Like this is all big names to be on like a kids TV show of the 90s. Some of the names are running dry now, but I just remember saying that and all these names popping out. Helen Hunt. Like John Lovitz got on there. Harry Shearer. It's just star-studded though. Casey Kasem was Shaggy. Yeah, I'm friends with Casey Kasem's daughter. She's I used to talk with her a lot when he was still alive, and she would tell me stories about him. He seemed like a good papa. She had actually invited Joe and I out to karaoke one night when we were in LA, and we went to a house party in the other direction. And then the next day she was like, yeah, too bad you didn't come out. Sting showed up and did karaoke. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I fucked up. Sting the singer, not Sting the wrestler. But that was pretty, I was like, oh, but we ended up going to this house party, and we ended up just passing out. We all got there for like 20 minutes and then fell asleep on a couch. It was all great. It's back when Joe and I were running ourselves ragged for the content. Whereas Joe is raising a wonderful daughter with his beautiful family. Zoinks! I can't do that. Phyllis Diller was in the 1934 Sex Maniac movie. It's true. It's true. Who's Lark Voorhees? Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell. She would have got a guest appearance on the show about the time Saved by the Bell was at its most popular level. Excuse me while I kiss this guy. Doom, 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 doom. I'm looking at the clock right now, guys. I want to thank everybody for the support so far. It's looking like we're running low on the clock, though. Running with the devil. Charlie Sheen. I know Martin Sheen was on. Yeah, Martin Sheen. I named him at one point when I was reading off the names literally 3 minutes ago. I hope Ben doesn't have throat syphilis, and I've been incubating in this room catching his throat syphilis. I hope it was just from screaming. But the more I think about it, he probably has throat syphilis. Damn it. You are the devil tonight. True. True. If you don't boop Sif, you are a bad person. I'll boop Sif. Sif is a good pupper. I'm a boop Sif. Boop. Seb Mex says, Billy, make new music, you lazy fucker. If you want to join my Patreon, go to my Patreon and I'll make music once I get to, I don't know, 1,000 smiles. I don't know how Patreon works. I don't know, dude. I'll make music. I'm writing stuff right now, but I'm not lazy. I just do other shit. You think I need to fucking make music all the fucking time? If people would come out and buy my music, I would make more. But I'm unfortunately a struggle rapper. Yeah, we're definitely not going to make the goal tonight. Appreciate everybody for trying, though. Unfortunately, it was going to end sometime. And it's just nice that it ends during barbecue month. I didn't know it was barbecue month. May is barbecue month. Oh, no. Billy busy Instacarting in his Prius? I live that life. I'm sorry. It's hard out here. It's hard out here for a struggle rapper. Nearly an hour of the show was spent on Cobra. That was a bit much. Not only spent on Cobra, but Cobra opening cans. It was Cobra opening cans. Oh, going to a barbecue Monday. I recently found these keto hot dog buns they're selling at the grocery store. And I've been eating sausages often. I kind of want to barbecue some sausages. I've been grilling them on like a little George Foreman. And I kind of want to take them out to a real live flame barbecue and get some thick brats. Yum. I like brats. Cobb's opening sores would be content. I think it's content. Ew. Borderline experimental. Oh, yeah. You didn't even show up. I'm sorry, Stabby McHugs. Like, we had to know that it was going to end sometime. And I'm glad that it ended while I was still a host. Now, of course, we're going to have budget cuts. I'm going to have to leave Drunken Peasants. I'll be replaced with Wallace the Wall. You guys will enjoy the show still. But that's what happens when the streak doesn't finish. We gotta hire this guy here. Now that he can't get his burger, he's got to come be the new host because he doesn't want to wear a mask. I'm losing my voice now too, Ben. I think we have strep throat.
No, I think it's just you, the opening and closing of your legs.
Train, let's go.
I hope so.
Yeah.
PT Hammer with the train and them things. Thank you very much, Hammer. Yeah, we're 83.61% of the way. Over $666. $2.20 over $666. Not bad. Not bad. Bring on Wallace. We'd hit the goal. Wallace is wearing a green screen right now.
Beautiful.
Wallace joined the Green Hood, the Green Lantern Society. Cipher's bus popper.
A couple of weeks ago, somebody sent me this montage. It wasn't not a montage. It was like a bunch of different clips.
Is he talking about your WoW montage?
Which I guess were from porn scenes, but they weren't like, they didn't have pornography in them. It was just like the acting parts of porn scenes. And
let's run
it was this
train.
guy.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Almost there. We're making it, guys.
Choo choo.
Who was making all of these like pretty funny jokes that like were clearly not in the script, right?
We're
And
also following
he seemed like a really like down to earth guy.
Hey, let's play strip poker. Gay.
Cool, let's do it.
Instantly not gay.
And I was like, this guy seems like a regular guy. Like, how is this guy in porn? So I looked him up. His name was Xander Corvus. That's his porn name. And lo and behold, not a normal guy at all. His whole entire identity is he's an anarcho-communist. He's a mixed race descent. He's Scandinavian, black, and Jewish. Also a drug addict who's been in porn for 12 years and has a year clean off of drugs. And porn's his main gig, but he also streams video games on Twitch as a side gig. And then you just look at people like Riley Reid, who's one of the most famous porn stars. And she has a YouTube channel. I remember like a while ago, like 2 years ago or something, I did a reaction video on one of her Ask Me Anythings, and she was basically saying how she had an abortion and porn ruined her family life and her dad's embarrassed of her, all the while not taking any personal responsibility, not doing any type of self-reflection, realizing that her actions put her in the position that she's in.
And she probably self-reflects when she's out there spending money, having fun, doing sex with hot people, and enjoying her fucking life. That's probably when she does the self-reflection. And then she talks about how her parents don't approve of her career for YouTube, for views, for content.
Basically saying that it's the whole world's fault for stigmatizing pornography. It's not her fault for making poor choices. And then she tweets out that God's not real and you should masturbate to her porn. And it's just like, no matter what, every single person in porn is evil in some way. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you have people who got involved in porn because they were homeless or they had like a really bad drug problem or something.
This is a stick up. Everyone must send a big love so we can reach the goal.
Don't shoot.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
We're close. I'm sorry, guys. We're just not going to make it, though.
Stabby McHugs wants us to not make
Stabby's shows love by showing hate. I've noticed
like their
that.
last ditch effort to try and make money, and then they got wrapped into the whole entire apparatus of it and stuff. And I'm sure there's sad stories like that, but you don't have any like normal people just joining porn for no reason. You don't have many girls who were like raised in a traditional Catholic family where they have a good father figure.
No, that's not true. And I mean, like, honestly, I went to Catholic schools, and the Catholic school girls were way more naughty than the public school girls.
Oh.
All those years of repression Yeah.
I happen to know a few Catholic schoolgirls very closely, some of them that made the news for their naughtiness. It happens, okay?
Yeah.
The repression is real.
Yes.
The fact they make you wear those skirts is real. The fact that the damn clergy are pervs. A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Not just like an outlier, it's a pandemic. I don't know exactly what the percentage is of clergymen that are pervs, but I bet you it's higher than the amount of people who died from COVID percentage-wise. Maybe I'm wrong.
They went to Latin Mass and received communion on the tongue and were raised with the proper values and all that stuff. You don't see many of those types of people just out of nowhere one day deciding, you know what, I think I'm gonna do porn as a career. That seems like a good life choice.
I guess just today, Riley Reid bought a $5 million California estate with pool house. Fuck, man, that's not a regular person right there. Poor, horrible human being to have a $5 million house.
Disgusting.
Reported on today, purchased.
You know, instead it's always
pretty good.
Drug addicts or people who didn't have good parents, like Xander Corvus said that his parents were swingers when he was a kid. I saw some other slut porn star talking about how, oh, my dad was the biggest feminist in the world. And
yeah, imagine your parents are swingers and feminists and you don't grow up sexually repressed. I think everybody should be sexually repressed so they only have really boring, horrible sex with the person they're stuck with for the rest of their life. By the way, if you get married, you know, that's it. You're stuck with that person forever, according to Spexo. Even if it's terrible, that's what you get.
In Catholicism, there's no divorce either.
Yeah.
Like if you believe in the religion Catholicism, even if you legally, in the eyes of the law, get divorced, if you get together with anyone else after your legal divorce, and in the eyes of Catholicism, you're still committing adultery. Because the only way you can break up a marriage is by an annulment by the Catholic Church. You have to get the church to agree to annul your marriage, basically rendering it never valid.
Man, I would love to have some of the shit I done annulled.
he's super supportive of my career choice. At least Riley Reid's father basically disowned her. But the point is, there are literally...
and now probably isn't invited to her $5 million mansion party.
Zero positive things from porn.
Yeah, mansion, zero positive.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people who suffer from porn, who get into it in a bad place.
Of course.
The average length of a porn career is 6 months. You know, it's a revolving door. People get in, realize it's not for them, and they get out.
Right. It's true.
But people get into any gig and realize it's not for them and get out.
And we live in a society where it's legal, and it wasn't within the last 100 years in our country, but it's legal, which makes it easier for people to get out of it and not be trapped in it and not be coerced into it.
And a lot of people that are trapped in their repression turn to pornography as a release so they don't do other stuff that is illegal. They go to sex work so they don't become people who commit sex crimes. That's just a fact.
Or victims of sex crimes.
Yeah, but there definitely is an out. People need an outlet for their sexual fantasies and frustrations, so they don't take it out in unhealthy ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, do you know that before every lawyer or anybody else ever takes one of these oaths, they have to swear to preserve and protect the Constitution, and they have to swear that they've never fought a duel?
Never fought.
Is that not hilarious?
He calls a duel a dole. What's 859?
Never fought a duel.
What area code is that?
859.
And
I'm guessing somewhere in the South.
Just want to advocate. Now this might sound a little bit off the wall, but I'm kind of serious. I don't understand why dueling.
Lexington, Kentucky.
There you go.
I don't understand why dueling
is just not allowed. Now, I understand the public policy. The public policy of dueling not being legal is because we don't want to have, two people going out there. But here's my whole thing. Shoot.
I like how you didn't finish your explanation about why we don't want it.
We all want a doll.
But here's my thing.
Each other. But here's my whole thing. If it was always about being dishonored, and what you did, if you dishonored somebody, then they could challenge you to a duel. And a lot of those duels was just to get off your chest. You're both showing courage. You didn't even shoot each other. Sometimes you.
That's not true at all. If you got to the point where you're standing toe to toe with your weapon in your hand, someone died, or someone got mortally wounded, or someone got shot. I mean,
or they write a play about your life, and Lin-Manuel Miranda performs it, becomes a Disney icon.
But in today's world, just think about how this would go down. Like, I offended somebody or somebody offended me, and I could challenge them to a duel.
It's a lot better than just shooting unarmed people.
If two people want to do that, now you don't have to accept, the person doesn't have to accept the duel, right?
See, there's a lot of weird gray area there where people could have been essentially forced to accept one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Honors on the line. Your livelihood could be destroyed for not accepting. On top of that.
Or they could say, this person accepted, like, you're dead, all right? And they were like, well, they accepted a duel, and you're dead. You can't defend yourself. You know? They could lie and say you accepted a duel.
That's why they have to all be live streamed now.
I kind of wish there was
hey,
dueling.
Yo, this
now,
is TikTok,
if I thought
and we're going to do a duel.
No. If
Live
it was
on
legal, would I challenge people with a duel? Hell yes.
Oh,
My
yeah?
list is long. I would be going.
That means your chances of living very much longer are pretty slim, because even if you're a great shot, I mean, the more duels you're in, the higher chance you have of getting whacked.
And imagine how many times there wasn't fair play. There was foul play.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like,
First on my list would be gay turd Jeremy. I would have to just challenge my brother to a duel.
His brother, gay turd Jeremy?
Would I challenge my dad to a duel? Hell no. Would I challenge Kenny Bach to a duel? Hell yes.
I love how this turned to him wanting to shoot his gay brother and scared of his father. This says a lot about this man. Cheers, dude.
Long list that I would challenge to a duel. Now, have I? No. But I'm not going to be a wimp and not talk about it.
Have I done it? No, but I'm not going to be a wimp. I'm going to run my mouth about it all day long. I don't think you understand what a wimp is, Papa. Running your mouth is wimpy as hell.
Dueling should be allowed, but it's not. And I've never fought one. But I think it should be allowed. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Once upon a time, Alexander Hamilton had a very bad day on the dueling grounds. But that's not a reason that we shouldn't have them. Have a great day.
Have a great day. What a sweet boy. He ended it with have a great day. He's not a bad guy at all.
I think here's a little more from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, this is yours truly, Eric Dieters, the Bulldog, a.k.a. Eric of Nicholson, ready to do my show. Dan Bongino is previewing Trump. You know what? If you're going to replace Rush Limbaugh and you're going to have an inaugural show, you might as well begin with interviewing Trump, right?
Right.
I think that's going to be off the charts. Can you imagine how angry Geraldo is going to be? He's going to be upset.
What's wrong with Geraldo?
Geraldo didn't get the interview.
Geraldo lives in Ohio these days, which I thought was weird because he's a rich guy. He could live anywhere, but he's living there.
Maybe he likes to be neighbors with Dave Chappelle.
I think he met a woman from there and he moved. Same thing happened with Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton met a woman my age and married her, and now Eric Clapton's lived in Ohio for like 2 decades now.
I think Bish has a story about running into Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
He's probably not true. I don't know.
It might be like
it seemed like it was.
He almost bought the soccer team there too. He was going to buy the what are they called? The Columbus Crew. He was going to buy it for a minute there.
The country of Belarus forced an airplane.
It's not Belarus, you fucking idiot. It's Belarus.
Belarus, the country of Belarus.
Belarus.
In the land, then seized the journalist. Now, I don't know about you, but the first thing that I thought of was, Why can't we here in the United States force down some airplanes and seize all these journalists that we own?
I don't know about you.
Because we're not a fucking fascist nation.
The first thing I thought about when I heard Putin hunting down and redirecting an aircraft just to get a journalist was, why don't we do that?
It wasn't even Putin. It was his puppet in Belarus. It was the guy who runs Belarus who gets to do whatever the fuck he wants because he's on the good side of Putin.
Do you think Putin wasn't happy about that?
I don't think Putin cares, but that's his buddy, so he can do whatever he wants.
He invited him over for dinner on the boat afterwards.
Watch, the FBI will be contacting me now.
Good.
Isn't that hilarious? Forcing out an airplane and grabbing a journalist. Wouldn't we love to get Chris Cuomo on an airplane, forcing him down to land in Kentucky, and then pick him up and hold him hostage?
No, I wish we could find a way to build a fucking moat around Kentucky, and you motherfuckers can just stay there.
Why do you want to kidnap or hold him hostage anyways? Like if you can say this
'Cause they don't
stupid
like
opinion
him.
of wanting to hold someone hostage, like where's this go when somebody that watches him goes, kidnaps Chris Cuomo and holds him hostage?
I think we need to do a quick PSA about Super Chat because I think we got a lot of new supporters for this stream.
Hey.
And some of them might be confused. By the way, we appreciate the support no matter where it's coming from.
Thank you, Ella.
But for whatever reason, we use Streamlabs for our goal, and Super Chats don't count, and Google takes a big cut of that. So if you want to give money to us to support us, Super Chat isn't the best way to do that because Google takes their little cut from it, and Google doesn't need any more money, right?
Wow.
So we're 93%. You guys are going to get a cool show from me. I'm going to zap the fuck out of my... When's the last DP episode where you've seen me not smoke weed even once the entire episode? Probably never, and I have not throughout this entire episode, but I will if we meet the goal and I do the zappy zap.
Make Ben smoke a weed again.
Don't apologize if you already gave us super chats.
We appreciate it 100%. Like we love it. It's just
Good
as
old
far as the goal goes, it can't add to the goal. But we appreciate you.
Jen Psaki claims
Why does it care? Why does her hair color matter? Redhead. Okay. Who gives a fuck? She's smarter than Kaylee, whatever the fuck her name was. And, I mean, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was a fucking troll. I think she's running for governor of Arkansas like her dad was.
Huckabee is?
Yeah. Because Huckabee was governor of Arkansas.
I wonder if she'll even have a chance. The Huckabee legacy does not live on.
Hard time keeping up with Joe Biden, which obviously raises the question, what's wrong with her?
Oh my God. She has a way easier job because she doesn't have to make excuses for literally everything Biden does. Like some things, yes, but Trump is constantly doing dumb shit that his press secretaries had to do damage control for.
Yeah.
And what was her name? Kaylee McNamee, whatever the fuck her name was. At least she was like easier on the eyes, so I don't think she got as much shit as Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but they were both fucking awful. Like, and I felt bad for them because that was their job to like talk to the media and make sense of the shit Trump was doing all the time.
Disability,
it's not an easy job.
Physical or mental that she can't keep up with Joe Biden. Right?
I don't know what you mean she can't keep up with him. He's slow as fuck. How can you not keep up with him? He's on slow-mo.
I mean, there's got to be something going on if she can't keep up with Joe Biden.
You just keep saying the same shit, but you don't explain it. She can't keep up with Joe Biden.
The thing is, there's got to be something going on, Ben, because she can't keep up with Joe Biden. That's the thing.
Oh.
The Wuhan lab. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, we all knew, didn't we? Of course we all knew that COVID was a political weapon used by the left, the Joe Biden campaign, the American Communist tent.
Do we know this?
We all know.
So it was just a political weapon. Like literally, like 2 million people worldwide have not died from
Ben,
it.
you don't realize it's the American Communist 10. It's the media. It's the social media. It's the big tech.
more like
it's the
3.5.
Hollywood. It's the Democratic Party. It's the academia. It's the corporate America. It's the government swamps, Ben. The government swamps. The professional sports, Ben, and the music industry, Ben. That's the American Communist 10, Ben.
3.5 million deaths worldwide, but this was all just created so that Trump would lose the election.
And we couldn't call it the China virus.
You can call it that. You have the freedom to call it that, but it's stupid.
We couldn't call it the China virus.
Call it whatever you want.
And then when they had all these crimes going up against Asian people, we couldn't go on calling it the China virus without it becoming a hate crime.
Let's call it the
the
pathetic bald fuck virus. How about that?
let's call it the grandma's gonna die if you go out to a party and come home and cough in her mouth virus.
To say it originated in China. Who lied to us?
No one said it didn't originate in China. As far as we know, that's where it originated. No one is uncomfortable with saying that. But blaming Chinese people for it is a totally different thing, especially people who live in the United States that haven't lived in China for years, if at all, or just happen to be of Chinese descent. That's the problem, you fucking idiot.
China lied to us. Everybody lying. Now, on the cool, calm aftermath of the
Thank you. Oh, go.
We hit the goal.
I can't do it.
Goal.
2020 election. Now we're allowed to know, as the facts come out, that it looks like the old Wuhan lab is where the virus originated, and it was, in fact, Chinese created. And
even if that's true, let's take issue with the Chinese government, not Chinese people as a whole on Earth. I mean, the government of China is a small percentage of all of the people in China that have nothing to do with that suffer by. I mean, the government of China is fucked up. Like, I'm not a fan of them at all. So even if you're right, which I don't think you're right, I think this virus formed naturally. And that's why we were able to find a vaccine to it. It's not some kind of super engineered virus.
I think Fauci recently stated that they haven't ruled it out yet. I don't know. There was
that's
some new news around that. So
and that's scientifically honest. Yeah, don't rule out a possibility that hasn't been disproven, but I would say the odds are against it. And even if it's true, it would be the government of China, not the whole of Chinese people, which is like the half of the entire world's population in one country. And so many of them live all over the world because there's so many of them. We can't hold them all accountable for something that their corrupt government does.
It came from there.
I'm on the side of, I was on the side of Hong Kong. I'm on the side of Taiwan. I'm on the side of Tibet. I think the Chinese government is fucked up. I don't agree with single party dictatorships.
I mean, it's incredible. And not only that, we're finding out more.
But I don't hear this motherfucker complaining about how the Chinese government makes labor laws akin to indentured servitude, if not slavery. And that's how we save $5 on certain items at Walmart.
Look,
I don't see him complaining about that shit.
I don't care who has to suffer for me to get my Tupperware under $4.99.
Right.
That bald dude's call me list. 9 out of 10 of those things are literally American capitalism.
Yeah, China is the way it is because our money pollutes their way of doing business.
And more about how American tax dollars somehow ends up in China at the Wuhan lab. I mean, really? I mean, it's just all damn disgusting.
Really?
And of course,
it's so damn
we've
disgusting.
been censored for a year every time we bring this up. Psaki, when faced with all of the issues and questions surrounding crime in our major cities, easy to do, isn't it? She blames the gun. How anybody in America could blame guns for the violence in the cities
Because that's what people use when they act out violently.
Is incredible.
Guns don't kill people,
I mean,
Ben.
the lack of common sense on the gun issue is astounding. I mean, who doesn't think that a bad guy can't get his hand on an illegal gun?
I don't hear you making the same argument with drugs.
I think, legalize drugs, legalize guns, give everybody enough money for their mental health to be in check.
All of the gun arguments the right makes could be applied to drugs, but they're somehow they won't entertain the same school of thought when it comes to drugs.
Drugs don't kill people, Ben.
Oh.
People kill people.
Yeah, they don't say that, though.
It's got nothing to do with gun laws. The proliferation of guns is there. A bad guy is always going to get a gun, period. It's the gun.
So why have any laws at all? Why? Okay, well, any law you have, a bad guy's going to break it anyway, so why even have the law at all? You know, why even have a speed limit on the road? People are going to speed anyway. You can apply this to anything, but you only apply it to the categories that you have issues with. You're such a piece of shit.
Whoa. I don't know if you should call this
And
guy
as we
a
all
piece
know,
of
the
shit.
NRA
piece of shit.
pitches guns don't kill and shoot people. People kill and shoot people.
Ah.
Rubio is sounding the alarm.
Rubio. Hey.
By the way, Rubio's one of those people. You know, I don't agree with everything he says.
I can
and
hardly
does,
talk.
but it's just an example. He's still a solid senator versus.
I bet if this dude turns around, he's got a pack of hot dogs hanging off the back of his neck. You know what I'm talking
You
about?
can see the side of his head there, but it's the neck's cut off. I think the neck's cut off.
He's got a pack
because
of hot dogs
There's
hanging
probably
off the
some.
back of
There's
his
some doggies.
What other
There's
the
some puppy
alternatives
doggies.
are. And he's
with the
talking about what I've
thangs.
been talking about forever.
We don't talk
The communists
about
are
it.
Chinese communists.
He doesn't know how to tie a tie either.
Wuhan,
The tie is all
Wuhan,
crooked.
keep you all in check. Wuhan.
Dude, I saw Busta Rhymes live one time. It was I don't know how this happened. I went to a university football game, like a lower tier, like Toledo University, which is like a lower tier.
Yeah.
And then after the show, they let everyone onto the field, and there was a Busta Rhymes concert.
That's funny.
It was fucking awesome too. Like
Yeah.
he's really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was-
He's fantastic.
yeah.
Advantage of Joe Biden's weakness and letting the guard down. And it's scary, scary stuff. Of course, what they did under the Obama administration, Obama-Biden administration for 8 years, God only knows. But I'm telling you right now, folks, they infiltrated this country like you wouldn't believe during
Infiltrated.
those 8 years. Write it down, circle it, mark it in a box. I'm telling you, that's what went down. Amazon might be buying MGM for $9 billion.
And they did, and that was a great move. Amazon is swallowing up all the companies they can, just like Disney is.
Yeah.
Someday there's going to be the Amazon-Disney merger, the Amazon-Disney-Paramount merger, where every good intellectual property is going to be owned by one company.
I wonder if Netflix will buy anybody, or if they're even in the
Netflix is
game.
on the decline, in my opinion. Like, they created the business model that now these larger companies are going to exploit. And I think Netflix is going to fall by the wayside
But
eventually.
I don't know,
They
'cause
were
Netflix-
innovators, but they're no. But I mean, you could be right. But this is how I see it going, because Netflix was never a juggernaut. They were just an innovator. And the juggernauts emulate the innovators and use their ideas, but push their money behind it and swallow up the innovators. Maybe Netflix will get bought out by Amazon next, or one of the larger companies.
Maybe Netflix is had all that money invested by the CIA to make propaganda.
Oh yeah,
yeah. A lot of their they had what, $80 billion budget about 4 years ago put in to make videos. Must have came from the CIA. Right?
I had my first Netflix subscription in 2008, and the main draw for Netflix back then was getting the DVDs in the mail, but they started the streaming thing. There was nothing but trash movies on Netflix for the streaming service back then. They were all like 1960s, 1970s movies, and then slowly over time they started getting good stuff. But I just remember like the early days of that. I'm like, man, this is going to be big someday if they can actually get good movies. I remember streaming like 2001: A Space Odyssey and like Barbarella and all the like cool old sci-fi. from the 60s and 70s, but the main attraction was getting a DVD in the mail.
Yeah.
Every week.
You can get 2 DVDs, I think.
And if you didn't send them back, you're wasting your money. Like, you had to send them back. As soon as you were done watching it, drop that shit in the mail.
Yeah, then you get a new one on your list
Yep.
sent. I never would return them that quickly. I was the worst. Oops.
Yep.
Now, you know how I feel about these monopolies. However, there's one silver lining in it.
These monopolies, motherfucker. Do you realize monopoly is not meant to be pluralized like this? These monopolies? No. They're not monopolies if you're talking about multiple ones, you dumb fucking thumb-looking piece of shit. God, you suck.
But they could be a monopoly pluralized if it's a monopoly of different industries, right? Like if
But that's not what he's talking about. I know you want so hard to find a reason to like argue about something, but that's not
I'm
what's
not
going
arguing.
on.
I'm just stating an area where monopolies could be pluralized.
I trust Bezos, reluctantly, more than China.
Did that person just say Daniel Bryan's going to Impact?
I don't know. There's a lot of rumors
that
going
true?
on right now. I think there was question marks in the statement.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
At least
if
the
it was
Chinese aren't
actually-
buying another freaking
Is
studio.
going to Impact Wrestling, no question mark. So Bay Area of Gaming suggests Daniel Bryan is going to Impact Wrestling.
Look that up.
I'd rather have Bezos on it than freaking communist China.
All right. Yeah, people are even noticing your smirk. No, wait. I'm gonna come up with a reason to disagree.
Didn't disagree. Just gave you a point where monopoly could be.
But what does that
plural.
have to do with what he's talking about?
Nothing at all. Just how you said monopoly's not meant to be plural, and I was like, it makes
Right, when
sense. But there is also like
Right, so
could-
you were coming up with a reason to disagree when it wasn't relevant to the conversation.
I was giving you a area where monopolies could be pluralized and still mean something. But your point is valid.
Okay.
I'm not gonna devalue your point, Ben.
Okay, thank you.
I don't want to devalue.
I'm glad it happened once.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I'm just looking up plurals where monopolies could be pluralized.
Oh, I thought you were looking up Daniel
Yeah, I
Bryan.
don't see anything about it
Oh,
anywhere
okay,
yet, so it
liars.
hasn't made anywhere yet. But you know.
Liars.
And another way you could say monopolies plural is if you had the Star Wars monopoly and you had the classic monopoly and you had the Big Bang Theory monopoly. These are my monopolies.
Ooh.
All the different monopolies that I
Ew.
own. You could have the what was the last Harry Potter monopoly. You could have the Disney Princess
If you
monopoly.
have Peacock Network, their streaming service, they have all the Harry Potter movies on there right now included.
Whoa!
I binge watched a few of them. It's weird because Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 is the lowest rate. It's weird. I don't know if is Rotten Tomatoes and NBC like affiliated or something, because it's the only streaming service where they show Rotten Tomatoes ratings on.
They might be. They might be owned by the same parent company. I don't know who owns Rotten Tomatoes right
I would
now.
think at this point, maybe because they like integrated it, but Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 is the lowest rated Harry Potter movie on Rotten Tomatoes, and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows 2 is the highest, which is weird. But you know what? I watched them both, and I kind of agree. The first Deathly Hallows is trash.
I haven't watched. I think I've watched 2 Harry Potter movies. I don't know the first one and like the third one maybe. I don't.
You know, after the third one, they changed directors, and the whole like focus, like the entire style of the movie changed a lot.
Yeah, I'll probably watch the movies one day when I have like a wife that likes Harry Potter and she makes me watch it.
So possibly never.
I don't know. I'll probably marry a wife that likes Harry Potter. I can
Okay.
imagine myself marrying a wife that likes Harry Potter. And then that way she'll have to sit there with me when I watch it. And I could like tickle her butt while I watch Harry Potter. There's just rules to me watching Harry Potter. I'm not going to go in without some sort of butt to tickle.
Weird.
I don't think that's weird.
I think the majority of what you say is weird.
I think the majority of what I say is profound.
Of course you do, because just like we said last night, which made Scott laugh out loud, no one is more influenced by their own bias than you are.
I'm not biased at all.
towards yourself, yes,
No,
you are
no.
completely
No.
biased.
I completely believe in myself. There's a difference.
No, there's not.
100%. I have
People who are actually great don't feel the need to talk about how great they are as much as you do.
I don't think I do.
You do all the time.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I
Somebody
know
needs to
so,
make a compilation of
'cause
me
it's
talking how about how great I am, like the WoW
so we can watch it
compilation.
and jerk off to it all the time.
I'm not saying that would happen. I'm not saying
that would
that's
happen.
why.
I'm saying it would happen.
All I'm saying is, Ben, is maybe I wouldn't have to say how great I am if you didn't have to denigrate me all the time.
Billy is a Trump level narcissist.
100%.
You call it, me just questioning the bullshit you say is denigrating to you.
I can say this with 100% guarantee. You bring up how horrible I am more than I bring up how great I am.
I didn't bring up how horrible you are.
You have multiple times, and I just counterbalance.
No.
Somebody has to speak for
simply
me.
questioning your narcissism is bringing up how horrible you are.
Yeah, because I'm not a narcissist.
You are.
No,
You've literally
are.
said
You're the narcissist. I'm a sweet boy.
You've literally said you're a narcissist.
It was a joke. I tell jokes.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yes.
It was a joke.
I think if we got a psychiatrist in here and sat down with both of us, the psychiatrist would say,
Okay.
Billy, you are a sweet boy. Ben,
You have nothing to back
you
this
might
up.
be they would say you might be a narcissist. That's what the psychiatrist would say. And I could say that not being a psychiatrist myself, only knowing what I think a psychiatrist would say.
Fucking damn it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Higsby says, I'm fair and balanced like Fox News. Thank you, Higsby.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke that only I laugh at.
I think the majority of people
Of
laugh
course
at
you think
everything I say.
Of course you think
There's
that.
like 30% of people who don't laugh at everything.
Of course you think that.
But I
All
get
right,
them
I'm gonna do
a
this,
few
Zach.
times each episode. I give them a little chuckle a few times each
I realize you
episode.
had to tell these things to yourself throughout your entire life just
I
to
don't
feel
have
good
no.
about yourself.
No. I feel good about I will say this. I feel good about myself. I feel really good about myself. Very good about myself without having to say anything. I just say things. I say things to remind the world that we should all look at ourselves in a brighter light.
Billy, your shtick sucks.
No, it doesn't. My shtick keeps the show alive. I'm the fire of Drunken Peasants Podcast 2021. I burn the flames. Might be a god, too. Might be a god on top of that. Might be a god. Not the god. A god. Do a show on acid? I honestly don't know how I would react to acid. I overreact to weed. The one time I tried mushrooms, I didn't do a lot because I was afraid.
He
and
has
nothing
to
happened.
see. It forces him to actually internally reflect, which he can't do. He has to always outwardly
Where's that
reflect.
come from?
Psychology.
No, I am the most self-aware, internally reflecting human being ever.
No, that's why you couldn't handle salvia.
No,
for like literally your own testimony as to why you didn't like it was that you internalized too much.
No, that's not the salvia. Salvia
Blah,
literally
blah, blah,
stopped
blah,
time.
blah, blah, blah,
It's a good retort, Ben. Big fan of blah 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 blah. As the,
That's
as a
all
response.
you do.
I'm an intellect, Ben. I'm a top quality intellect. Roger Wilco, please no spoilers in the chat. Josh Morgan says they're the most reflective person. Second most. I think obviously I am the most. Danny Millen says on Salvia, Billy got transported to a 1988 arcade. It was actually a basement. I was in a basement in 1988. It was strange, but familiar.
I love the motherfuckers in the chat. They're like, it's awkward. It's awkward. It's like, you motherfuckers are the most awkward people. The people that comment that it's awkward. No one here is awkward.
It was not an awkward
We're
silence.
We're literally just talking back and forth to each other. You know what? Friends talk openly and honestly, even when we're insulting each other.
Yeah. Especially when there's a camera on.
Yeah.
But I was being quiet so I didn't interrupt Ben's weed hit.
Sorry.
That's a big thing. I wouldn't want to talk over that cough. That shit go hard. Gotta set the stage. Gotta let somebody do their thing.
I love how when there's an argument, there are the people that are like, oh my God, it's great. Like it's more intense. They make it more like their reaction is more intense than what's actually going on.
And that's what I like though. Like I like reactions, so I'll play into that 100% of the time. I'm like, oh yeah. And then when I said I was God, I got like 74 DMs of people trying to worship me. Guys, not the God, a God. Chill.
I think we should get a psychologist in here.
That'd be fun. Can we get one for a private show?
It's expensive. I mean, you think about like how much they make an hour.
Yeah, I wonder if we can find somebody who's like just out of psychology class to just do it for.
I would like
the
someone
lulz.
who has actual experience.
I wonder if there's anybody who's a fan of the
We
show.
might not
that
be able
wants
to get
go
a
pro
PhD, but
bono.
we could probably get like a counselor, which they're still qualified to diagnose.
Can we get a
people.
marriage counselor?
No, I don't. We're not married. No, I don't want that.
We're basically a couple, Ben.
Fuck you.
Oh man, that would be funny. Yeah, I always I wanted to do like a podcast where I just go and I talk to like a psychiatrist once a week.
A psychiatrist is different though, because like
whatever.
Because I've been to it all. I've been to psychotherapists, counselors, psychologists, and psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are more than likely to just give you medication.
Yeah.
Because they're actually medical doctors and they can prescribe shit. I would probably want to go with a psychotherapist, a counselor, or even a PhD psychologist. Because they're more about talking through your mental state than they are like just like here's a drug to fix that.
Yeah, I want to do the talk through, and
Yeah.
like, I thought it'd be fun to do a podcast where I just sit down every week, like I was going to one anyways, but everybody gets to watch, and I just talk about like my most darkest open stuff, and if they discover that I've been blacking out something from my childhood and it comes out on the stream,
I don't want that. That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, that's why I want to do it.
Well, it doesn't. First of all, it's not cheap, and then other than that, I mean, like it could take you a year to figure something like that out.
Yeah,
and like it takes several sessions. Like if we got someone in here to be like, oh, give us a diagnosis. One session, like in an environment like this, it's not really the right kind of environment. There are questionnaires we could fill out, and they could get like an idea, be like, oh, by the way you answered this, you are likely a narcissist, you are likely a psychopath, you are likely a sociopath, you are like they could do that. It's not an official diagnosis, but it's kind of a roadmap. I've been to so much mental health therapy. It's crazy.
I haven't had any at all. Is Doug Snable coming back? I think he's still thinking Jesus is going to zap Trump into the White House and pushing back the date. I think Doug, his channel, got nuked.
Did it?
I'm not sure. I went to his channel recently.
It was so successful.
He had about 60,000 on his channel now, and it was over I think it was nearing 500,000.
Yeah, it was.
And everything he had went back less than a month, I think. So I think his old channel might have gotten kiboshed with all his art and stuff on it.
That's sad, because like my take on Doug, I think his views are reprehensible, but knowing him on the little bit of a personal level that I know him on, he is a nice guy and he does mean well. And even though me and him disagree, he still treats me like a good guy.
I think he's a good guy.
But if I was like gay or something, maybe he wouldn't. I
No,
don't know.
he treats gay people well too. He just doesn't like have.
You know,
a belief
that's
in
the
them.
reason he has to like crowdfund this shit because no one's going to hire him because of the shit he says.
He gets some work, right?
Of course.
But yeah,
Well, he's
his
talented.
crowdfunding gets him good.
Oh my God,
good
he'll
money.
crowdfund like a $500,000 project. I'd be willing to bet Doug Tenable's a millionaire, a multi-millionaire.
Probably, yeah.
And it's not even just from Earthworm Jim. It's like normal shit. He's making like $1 million on that shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting people want a new Earthworm Jim comic. He'll crowdfund a $500,000 project. It doesn't cost that much to design a comic. I mean, it's going to cost a lot to like print it, but it's still not anywhere near $500,000.
I don't think that people should be told how to think.
I don't either.
You know, I don't think people should be told how to think.
And I can still be friends with someone as long as they're not like actively hurting people. Like, well, views can hurt people too, but
Yeah.
as long as they're not like a Nazi or like, you know, they're not like out there like physically hurting people or like taking steps to hurt people. I can still be friends with them, but there is a line they can cross.
I think a lot of those people are hurt people, and they just fall into those situations.
I don't
because
know
of
Doug's background. I feel like Doug was a guy who found success very young in life and then found Christianity when he already had the world by the ass, and then decided, you know, this is the way. I'm going to make sure that everyone knows this. I don't know how I feel about his charity where he talks young women out of abortions and then like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what they're doing with that. He said that was his his charitable contributions.
I don't like that either. But I mean, if they help those women after they talk them out of it in some way,
are they going to raise their kid?
Probably not raise them, but if they offer them opportunities to get them on the right foot as a single mother or a
How
new
would
mother,
Doug feel about like if a gay couple wanted to adopt one of these kids?
I don't know.
Instead
I would
of
hope.
an
I
abortion,
would hope that he'd be for it.
He would not be for it. I guarantee you. I'd be willing to bet my bottom dollar that Doug Tenable would not be cool. He doesn't want, you know, teenage mothers getting abortions, but he wouldn't be cool with a lesbian couple adopting this kid instead of a young woman getting an abortion. That's I don't know. We'd have to ask him, but I could probably guess it. That's why those debates went so easily the way they did, because I'd be like, Doug, how do you feel about this and this? And I knew how he'd respond to it because he's kind of predictable with his views.
A lot of people on that side have their guns,
and
they
he's
stick
very
to them.
honest about it.
Yeah,
he's very honest about it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I like Doug as a person, and he's always been nice to me.
Happy says, "Shut the fuck up, Billy. The show's about to be over, so
it is about to end soon.
Doesn't really matter whether I talk or not.
Damn,
at this
my
point.
throat hurts.
But
I get tomorrow to try and heal my throat, and then we'll be back on Monday. Everyone, remember, we're back on Monday. There's a link in the description. Everyone, we're about to end. Go watch the WoW video. Just put it on in the background. I've seen people get to the point of laughter to tears watching this shit. I had no idea that I said wow this many times. I know I say like a lot. Like is one of my crutch words, and I thought maybe it could be that. But wow, I did not even know. But it was so easy for this person. They only picked there's my like. They only picked a few episodes and found so many of them. I couldn't imagine the entire body of work, all 884 episodes and all the other stuff that I've done. I mean, I'd say I've done probably 2,000 to 3,000 live streams. I think that's a conservative number. There's all the ones that got deleted. There's all the ones that weren't. There's all the private ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are going to wrap it up. We appreciate you all. You are all wonderful, beautiful people. And please like the stream. Make sure you're still subscribed. Go over and watch the WoW compilation.
Wow.
And we will see you on Monday.
Good night, everybody.
Yes, good night. And I got to make sure I don't play antagonism again.
I gotta run and pee.
Go pee.
I
Go
gotta run
pee.
and pee.
Go pee. Go pee.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.